Hello, 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 hello. Whoa. Hold on a second. Whole stream's messed up. Oh, it's still messed up. How loud is this? Wait, no. That's the old stream. Is the stream working right now, boys? I can't see myself or hear none of you. There we go. Can you guys hear me okay with the music? Oh, let me get the YouTube chat open. There we go. I don't know where I could stick this that it would be not super annoying. There we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. Can you see the cards and everything okay? I know they're probably going to be pretty small, but they're kind of small anyway. So the only issue is some people submitted their decks with Archidekt. And I'm pretty sure if you zoom in on Archidekt, it makes the card quality of the cards worse. No, it seems to not be doing that anymore. Never mind. So we should be okay. Architekt's just so dark and all over the place. Ooh. Oh, hold on. I had it changed in the settings to be like normal 1080p, but I read online that if you have your stream settings different than what your resolution on your actual monitor is, that it'll mess with the image quality. And like from what I'm seeing, my image quality does look better. Oh, it's letting me stream in 1440. That's cool. Yeah, that seems to be fine. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more though. There we go. Why is the one second. That's not supposed to be poking out up there. There we go. Does that work? Yes. Okay. Cool. Do I have this looping? I do. What's going on, boys? Sorry, that took a while to get set up, get everything right. How we doing today, everybody? Yo, Nick. You can change in the setting. Rise and grind. Yeah, dude. You know what liquid malice. I actually never realized you use light mode for Moxfield. I use dark mode. I love light mode stuff. Let me know if this beat is ridiculously loud. Phenomenal, end yourself. Good. Phenomenal, end yourself. No, okay. That sounds fun. That sounds fine. Let me set up my phone here in the most hillbilly way possible. The only way I know how, baby. There we go. Nah, how does your eyes handle that? It doesn't, dude. When I look away, I see like outlines of cards for like minutes, dude. I'll be blinking seeing Scryfall random searches. All I have to do is be like, oh, random card. Ding, 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 ding. I get tons of random cards every time I blink. Okay, so welcome to the All for One stream, baby. If you don't know what that is, I submitted a Discord post that was a call to action for you guys to build decks where all the cards only were, or, sorry, the whole card pool of the deck was made up from one set. That would include the commander precons and anything like that that came with your set. So, you know, if you pick a set that doesn't have commander precons, might have been at a little bit of a disadvantage, but you might have earned my respect. You know what I mean? You might earn my respect for that one. But yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Your whole deck is made up from one set of cards, and the lands can be from anywhere. I really didn't care where your land base was. Bonus points in my book if you just used all the lands from the same set. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to look through some of them. I don't know if we're going to get through all of them. We have 10 decks. I'm sure we will. I don't feel like there's any reason why we won't. Just kidding. Fair warning, my deck is absolute dog water, but Hades? But Hades? Did you just curse me, bro? Bro's got Taval burned into his retinas. I really do, dude. I'm like, I blink and I see one blue, black, green. I'm like, oh, so much value. A 4/4 body with flying. Oh, what's that mean? What's that video? That clip where the guy's like, oh, he's like doing the outline of a person, but he keeps like DJing it, like the he's like, what is that from, dude? It's like burned into my head. Hades, how it is my fault. He blinks and sees another card and has to go in Arna. Yeah, 100%. I blink and see Taval, and then the next blink is a card where I'm like, oh, that's gonna be added to the stack of cards. Hades. Hades. It is how it is. Alright, dude. Let's get into it. We're going to look at the first deck here. Grayson Miones has the first deck here. And he went with Modern Horizons 3 for his set, which... pretty good set to pick if I'm gonna be honest. So his commander was Shil Gengar. 3 and 2 black, 6/6 flying, sacrifice another creature, create a blood token. If you sacrificed an angel this way, create a number of blood tokens equal to its toughness. We talked about Shil Gengar in my latest Power on a Budget video. You can pay 3 hybrid Orzhov, sack 6 blood tokens, return each creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Those creatures are vampires in addition to their other types. Pretty cool. Unfortunately, since this was such short notice, I doubt that many of these are tagged, but that's okay. We can get through this stuff pretty quick. So yeah, all the cards in this deck are going to be out of Modern Horizons 3. So it's pretty interesting. What do you call someone that's sponsored by Ghost-type Pokemon? A Shil Gengar. That's the stream, folks. We're done. That was the key moment of the stream. Holy I got my clip. I got my Shil Gengar clip. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be playing bodies. I already kind of took a little bit of a look at this one because it was the first one we were going to talk about, so I wanted to get a rough idea. It seems like he's going for an ETB strategy. So like play your stuff once, get 8 ETBs off of it, sack your stuff, get them to the graveyard other ways, and then use Shil Gengar to bring them back and get their ETBs again. So from being out of one set, it actually is a pretty cool strategy to go with. I'll be here all night, folks. I'll be here all night. Okay, Accursed Marauder. ETBs, each player sacks a non-token creature. Angel of Ruin blows up 2 artifacts or enchantments. Arcbound Conductor, whenever another artifact ETBs, another target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1. When Bogar ETBs, exile target player's graveyard. When you cast this spell, you gain 1 life for each colorless permanent you control. Hexproof from each color. Annihilator 2. That's just a good bomb. Again, if your card pool's from one set, you're probably gonna run bombs like this. You're gonna get that with a $40 deck. If anybody gets that reference. Yeah, you're gonna get that with a $40 game. Crabomination is a 4 and 2 black 5/5 that when it ETBs, target opponent exiles the top card of their library, a card at random from their graveyard, and a card at random from their hand. You may cast a spell from among those without paying its mana cost. I need one of these for Taval. I really like that. Stealing stuff out of people's grave. Fafrisky. And hand. And what was the other thing? Top card of their library. Crabomination's right, dude. There's 2 different types of blink cards. The cards that blink your cards and the cards that appear when Nick blinks. True. Those are the 2 different. You gotta. I'll make a video about that. The difference between flicker, blink, and blink. We're gonna have to clear that up. Crabomination is what my ex-wife gave me. Wait. Crabomination is cool. I considered it for Whisper. It's a cool target. I like that. Distinguished Conjurer, just a Soul Sister that also lets you blink something. Yep. Eldrazi Ravager, just another bomb with Annihilator. Just another bomb with Annihilator. Emperor of Bones, some good reanimation in this deck for sure. Ethereum, what I think it's reanimation, right? At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, pay 1 and a black, adapt to when 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on Emperor of Bones, put a creature card exiled with Emperor of Bones into play with a finality counter on it. Yeah, it's like a second commander, just like that does it like once. It's pretty cool. Ethereum Terramander. Okay. 1 black, 1/1 flying. When Ethereum Terramander can block only creatures with flying. 6 and a black, adapt 4. This ability costs 1 less. This is just another late game bomb. You're going to need some stuff to win with. I've always considered Blink exiling something and bringing it back now, and Flicker is bringing it back later, usually the end step. I don't know why, but that's how I think of them. That's how I think of them too. I think of Blink as immediate, and Flicker as comes back at end step for sure. Hey, Soulsborne G. Appreciate you, my guy. You don't have to do that, but it helps so much. No, it genuinely does help so much. Hold on, I had a funny story. The other day I was out. I was so fucking hungry, and I was like, I think I'm actually broke. I think I actually have $0 in my account. And I checked my account, and there's $1, and I was like, dude, I'm broke. I'm as broke as you can be right now. So I just went home, and then I got on Patreon, and I was like, I have $12 on Patreon. I can eat lunch today, dude. You helped me out. Then the 21st came around when I get paid, and I was like able to inhale again and be like, oh my gosh. Thank God. It was so funny though. I was like, Patreon literally came in clutch. Memberships came in clutch. So, Soulsborne. Fetid Gargantua. 4 and a black, 4/4. Oh, I had another funny story. I was out at the card shop, and there was these 2 younger guys looking at cards, and I was gonna come up to him and be like, "Isn't that thing sick, dude? Isn't that thing cold?" I think I was gonna say something like, what was it? Like some new term, like new agey term, and then I was like, "Don't walk up there and say that shit." And then I had this thought in my head of like, "You're almost 30 years old, dude. I feel like I'm 16." And I was like, if you walk up to them, you look like a 30-year-old man walking up and being like, that shit's pretty lit, huh? That's a pretty lit ass card. Yeah, I might have to act up tonight with that card. And they're like, what the hell's going on? I'd probably get hit with the Unk, dude. I'd get hit with the Unk and I'd be like, shit. Someone commissioned me to build a deck, so before that, I was also not eating. Eating lunch is usually good. Yeah, it's usually a good thing. That normally helps my day be better. Damn, Unk. Yeah, dude. It hit me that I was almost 30. I was like, you're 27, dude. And I was like, holy shit, I am. And I'm broke. Who isn't broke right now, though? To be honest. Even more reason to thank you, Souls. Tough times in the economy. Souls coming out with the dono. Coming out with the membership. Ooh, damn. Okay. Fetid Gargantua. 4 and a black, 4/4, 2 and a black, adapt 2. Whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on Fetid Gargantua, you may draw 2 cards. If you do, you lose 2 life. There's like a +1/+1 counter sub theme going on here too. It's like an ETB with a sub theme of 1/1 counters, which is interesting. Grim Servant, 3 and a black, 3/2 menace. When Grim Servant enters the battlefield, search your library for a card with mana value less than or equal to your devotion to black. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. That's a great card. I'm gonna run that in Taval, because if I have Taval out and just play Grim Servant, that's enough devotion to black to get Reanimate, Animate Dead, Dance of the Dead. If I have one more black, I can get Victimize, Necromancy. This thing's just a tutor for Animate Dead, Dance of the Dead, and Reanimate. I like that. I guess since you have had Adapt and Fabricate and MH3, that counters work well. Yeah. Guide of Souls. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you get an energy and you gain 1. You can pay 3 energy to put 2 1/1 counters on a creature, give it flying, and it becomes an angel until end of turn. Indebted Spirit. 1 white, 1/1, bestow for 2 and a white, Afterlife 1. Enchant creature gets 1/1 and has Afterlife 1. That one Rocco deck you were playing last night was sick, nasty, crazy. So, thank you, dude. I like it a lot. What's funny about that is that's actually the video that's coming out this Sunday is the Rocco video. I just wanted to play test it a little bit. I had goldfished it so much and played it against some of my own decks that I was like, I'm like convinced this deck's gonna do its thing. But then I was like, I should probably get one playtest in before I release the video to be like, oh man, this thing doesn't work at all. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time my gut feeling and playing it against my own decks, I'm like, I can gauge whether or not a deck's gonna work, because my Taval deck and Arna deck are pretty locked in. And Rocco was fucking him up. Well, it's also a token deck and Taval's a creature deck, but man, dude, I was convinced Rocco was gonna do its thing, and it did its thing. Ooh, I haven't seen that one yet. You're gonna like it. I think the video is really funny. I think you guys are gonna like the video. Okay, where were we? Inspired Inventor. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1. You get 3 energy. You can put a 1/1 counter on a creature, or you can make a 1/1 servo. Kirk, Son of Yawgmoth. Lifelink for each swamp in its cost. You may pay 2 life rather than pay it. Wait. For each blank? Oh, in a cost. Okay, I was like, wait a second. Isn't that already what he does? Whenever you cast a black spell, put a 1/1 counter on Crick, Son of Yawgmoth. That's such a good card. That might be one that I need for Taval as well. That'd be pretty good in there. Marionette Apprentice. Fabricate. Whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into the graveyard, each opponent loses 1. Whenever a token's put into the graveyard, each opponent loses 1. Netherglyph's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. Its toughness is equal to that number +1. Escape for 2 and a black. Exile any number of cards from your graveyard with 4 or more card types among them. Netherglyph's pretty good. It went down in price a lot. Wasn't that the one that was worth quite a bit, or is it the other glyph that was worth quite a bit? I know there was 2 of them. Sorry, I haven't been able to do any of the TTS games. It's hard to find time with a roommate and the time zone difference. No, dude, don't worry about it. I mean, I would love to play with you, but don't stress over it or anything. I feel you hard with that roommate part. Yeah, that's a total bummer. Which set are we working from? Modern Horizons 3, yep. Thank you, LJ. I was like, which Modern Horizons is this? What is that word? Obstinate? Obstinate Gargoyle. 1 white black. I've never seen this card. 2/2. As long as it has flying, as long as it's modified, and it has persist. I'm just gonna save it because I want to talk about it at some point in the future, I think. Because I've never seen that card. That's cool. Ocelot Pride. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that in your deck. 1 white, 1/1 first strike, lifelink, ascend if you have the city's blessing. No, sorry. At the beginning of your end step, you get a 1/1 cat if you gained life this turn. But if you have the city's blessing, for each token you created this turn, make another token of it. That's ridiculous. Ondu Knotmaster. 2 white, black. I don't think I've ever seen this either. 2/2. Throw a line, white into black for a sorcery. Distribute 2 1/1 counters among 2 target creatures. And then it comes out as a 4-drop 2/2 lifelink. Whenever another modified creature you control dies, put 2 1/1 counters on Ondu Knotmaster. I could see this in an Arna deck, not my Arna deck, because mine's very token focused. I could see this in an Arna deck being pretty good, though. If you're just running the run creatures that you want to make huge with counters, Arna deck? I think On Do Not Master is actually sick. Oh boy, I sure do love Commander Horizons 3. Yeah, literally, exactly. Ocelot Pride would go dirty with Arabella. Oh my gosh. Ocelot Pride would be disgusting in Arabella. Yeah, even if you, like, never get to do the, like... Yeah, no. Even if you don't even get to do the City's Blessing thing, that's still, like, absolutely busted. Yeah, that's really good in Arabella. Gross. Ophiolmancer gives you a 1/1 black snake at the beginning of your upkeep if you don't control a snake. It also has Death Touch. Ooh, I'm gonna need that. Wait, no, I don't have black in Rocco. Unfortunate. That's a really good Rattlesnake card, though. Felia does a little blink when she attacks. I love Felia. Proud Pack Rhino, when it enters, put a shield counter on a permanent or proliferate. That's really good in here. Recruiter of the Guard enters. You may search for a creature that costs 2 or less, reveal it, put into your hand. Refurbished Familiar, 3 and a black, 2/1 affinity for artifacts flying. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. Sure. Again, you're going to have to run cards like this. You're like running a card pool out of the same set. So there's going to be a couple of stinkers. Retrofitted Transmogrant. That's a cool ass name. 1 black, 1/1, pay 3 and a black, return Retrofitted Transmogrant from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped with 2/1/1 counters on it. That seems like a limited bomb. Rose Cottonite, 4 and a white, 3/4 vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or enchantment card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom. If you didn't, put a 1/1 counter on Rose Cottonite. Sure. Scurrilous Sentry, 3 and a black, 2/3. I like this artwork a lot. Menace, whenever Scurrilous Sentry enters the battlefield or attacks, it connives. Cool. I like that art a lot. What set is this from? He was gonna say. Jeez Louise. Well, there's my point right there, though. The flavor text says Queen Marchesa on it. I was thinking it was from Conspiracy, but then I'm like, no, it's MH3 deck. Sorin of House Markov, 1 in the black, 1/4 lifelink extort. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, exile Sorin, then return him to the battlefield flipped. +2, create a food token. -1, he does damage equal to the number of life you've gained this turn to any target. And -6, gain control of a creature, put a lifelink counter on it, and it's a vampire. Wow. That's crazy. Ophiomancer is a super good card. Lots. Yeah, it's very, very good. Ulamog the Defiler, 10 for a 7/7. When you cast it, target opponent exiles the top half of their library, rounded up. Ward, sacrifice 2 permanents. Ulamog the Defiler enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it, equal to the greatest mana value among cards in exile. And it has Annihilator X, where X is the number of 1/1s on it. Sure. That seems fun. Voltstorm Angel, 3 and 2 white, 4/4 flying. When it enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy at the beginning of combat on your turn. You may pay 2 energy when you do. Okay, I'm gonna have to go a little bit quicker to get through these. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, this is gonna take a while. So I'm gonna kind of sum stuff up. This gives you energy. You can use that energy to give her Vigilance lifelink, or give other creatures 1/1. Warren can sack creatures to give you treasures, and White Orchid Phantom is a catch-up creature that lets you destroy up to 1 non-basic land. Its controller may search for a basic land and put it on the battlefield tapped. Oh, that's not what it does at all. I was thinking Knight of the White Orchid. What is this one? I always thought this was just a reskin of White of the Night, or Knight of the White Orchid. 2 white, 2/2, first strike flying. When White Orchid Phantom enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-basic land. Its controller may search your library for a land card and put it. That's cool. Buried Alive lets you search for 3 creatures, put them in your grave. Decree of Justice makes either 1/1 soldiers or angels equal to X. Expel the Unworthy is going to be some removal. Gravedig's going to bring back a creature or make a 2/2 zombie. Jolted Awake gives you 2 energy. You can use that energy to return cards from your graveyard into play. Lethal Throwdown lets you sacrifice a creature or sacrifice a creature or modified creature and destroy target creature. If the modified creature was sacrificed, draw a card. That's pretty good, actually. Oh, dude, I was talking about this card in the Discord the other day. I think it's actually super cool. I threw it in my Boros Blink deck. If you have an indestructible land, then you can use it and ramp lands every time in ETBs. Oh, totally. I didn't even think about that. It's like that Wildfire card. You can just play an indestructible and then just mana ramp in mono white. That's cool. Savine's Reclamations brings back small stuff twice. Toxic Deluge, pay life, give neg X equal to the life you paid. Victimize, sack a creature, bring back 2 creatures. What is this card? Abstruse? What does abstruse mean? Abstruse Appropriation. 2 white, black, instant, devoid, exile, target non-land permanent. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend colorless mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. Colorless mana. That's weird. Consuming Corruption. 2 black, instant, does X damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain X, where X is the number of swamps you control. Eviscerator's Insight lets you draw cards. Fellow Profane's good removal. Flare the Malice is good removal. Orim's Chant. Target player can't cast spells this turn if it was kicked. Creatures can't attack this turn. Yikes, that's a really good card. I need one of those for my Rocco deck. Razorgrass Ambush. Deal 3 damage to target attacking creature, or it's a land on the back. Thraben Charm deals damage to twice the number of creatures you control to target creature, destroys target enchantment, or exiles any number of target players' graveyards. Thraben Charm's so good. Such a busted card. Abstruse literally means hard to understand. Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. Higher ups. The top drawers, dude. Big. What was I gonna say? I was like big pharma, but not big pharma. Big translation. Big translation. Being funny. Jet Medallion, Pearl Medallion, Soul Transformer, good mana ramp. Warm Power Stone, good mana ramp. Oh, that reminds me of the deck we played against last night, dude. Alex in chat. You know what you did. It's a cow farm. Winter Moon. Players can't untap more than 1 non-basic land during their untap step. Sure. Okay, enchantments. Ajani's Fell, the Godspire. Exile something. Create a 2/1. Target creature gains double strike. Charitable Levy, just a catch-up card. Dog Umbra, protection. Wait, no, not protection. Removal. Flash enchantment. As long as another player controls enchanted creature, it can't attack or block. Otherwise, Dog Umbra has Umbra armor. Okay, so it is protection or it's removal. That's really good. Farmer Alex. I didn't know we were allowed reprints. Yeah, I didn't really set the rules great, but it's all right, dude. Trust me. Just trust the process. Because you might just get a better set of rules and a second chance at this. Ding! Ding! Glasswing Grace. A land with on the back gets an enchantment that buffs your creatures with life, or a creature with lifelink and flying. What are you gonna do? Nothing. Nothing. I may or may not have chosen a set with 1 or 2 reprints in it. Yeah, I might have. Might not have. Master the Departed. 2 and a white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died, populate. Ooh, that's a cool card. Quest for the Necropolis. Whenever a land enters, it gets a quest counter. Pay 5 and a black. Sacrifice it. Put target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Costs 1 less for each quest counter on it. That's kind of a cool one. I like that. Ripples of Undeath. We all know this one. Mill 3. Pick your best one. Pay 1. Pay 3 life. Get that shit back to your hand. Static Prison. Some good removal. And then we're to the lands and we're done. Holy shit. Okay. So deck number 1 has been looked through. MH3 challenge. And we found some cool stuff that I want to run in some of my decks. But let's move on. 2. Who made this deck? I don't know how to use this website, so please forgive me. Rikumaru, 23. And their deck is Temet Vizier of Nakatun. Or Nakatamun. And this is a Amonkhet deck? Yes, Amonkhet as aggro. Okay. So we're going with an aggro Azorius deck. Which I like. Okay. So, Throne of the God Pharaoh, 2 for a legendary creature or legendary artifact. At the beginning of your... No, we need to read Temet. What am I doing? Blue-white. 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature token you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. And it has Embalm. That seems pretty good, actually. Throne of the God Pharaoh. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the number of tapped creatures you control. That's going to be great. Aven Initiate, 3 and a blue, 3/2, flying Embalm for 7. Fanbearer, 1 white, 1/2, pay 2, tap it, tap target creature. Labyrinth Guardian, 1 and a blue, 2/3. When it becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it, Embalm for 3 and a blue. Supply Caravan, 4 and a white, 3/5. When it enters the battlefield, if you control a tapped creature, create a 1/1 white warrior creature token. Ta Crop Skirmisher, 1 and a blue, 2/1, Embalm. Again, Embalm is going to be bringing them back as tokens, so that's going to work really well with Temet's making something unblockable and giving it +1/+1 if it's a token thing. True Heart Duelist, 1 and a white, 2/2. Can't be blocked by an additional creature each combat. Wait, oh, can block an additional combat. That's cool. Block an additional creature. That's a cool card. One of my favorite cards is Palace Guards. I think that's what they're called. The ones that can block any number. I love those cards. 2/2 and Balm, 2 and a white. Unwavering Initiate, 2 and a white, 3/2. Vigilance and Balm for 4 and a white. Trial of Solidarity, 2 and a white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +2/+1 and gain Vigilance until end of turn. That seems pretty good. A +2/+1 buff and Vigilance for 3 mana. Seems pretty good. Anointer Priest, 1 and a white, 1/3. Whenever a creature token enters, you gain 1 life. And it has Embalm for 3 and a white. Glorybound Initiate, 1 and a white, 3/1. You may exert Glorybound Initiate when it attacks. If you do, it gets +1/+3, gains lifelink until end of turn. Sure. Why not? Oh, this is broken down into sections. Thank you. Recursion, Devoted Crop Mate. When Devoted Crop Mate attacks, you may return target creature with power or mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, if you exert it still. I like that card. Scribe of the Mindful. 2 and a blue, 2/2, pay 1, tap it. Scribe of the Mindful. Or sacrifice Scribe of the Mindful. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. It's pretty good. That's actually really good. That could almost be rattlesnakey, because you could be like, hey, if I have removal in my hand, I have 2 pieces of that removal. Like if I have Path to Exile and I have Scribe out, it's like now I just have to pay 3 mana and I can use Path twice. So be careful. Anointed Possession, double your tokens. That's going to be good. Aven Wind Guide, Flying Vigilance. Creature tokens you control have Flying and Vigilance. Jeez. And Balm for 4, white and blue. Cortege of Solidarity. 1 white, enchant creature you control. Enchant creature, or when this enters, you get a 1/1 white warrior. Enchant creature gets 1/1 in first strike. And it'll also bounce this back to your hand. So that'll be cool. Drake Haven, whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1 and make a 2/2 Drake. Oketra the True, 3 and a white, 3/6, double strike, indestructible. Oketra the True can't attack or block unless you control at least 3 other creatures. Pay 3 and a white to create a 1/1 warrior creature token with vigilance. Regal Caracal, sure. 3 and 2 white, 3/3. Other cats you control have 1/1 in lifelink. Whenever this creature enters, create 2 1/1 white creature tokens that are cats with lifelink. That's a really good card. I like that card a lot. I thought a lot about making a Temed deck. Cortege, the best subtype. Yeah, the best subtype in Magic for sure. In Oketra's name, 1 and a white instant. Zombies you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Other creatures you control get 1/1. Again, if you embalm something, it comes back as a zombie. So that's going to be good. Vizier is just a clone that has embalm. Cycling, we've got Censor. Curator of Mysteries is going to let us scry 1 when we cycle. This one's just an embalm cycler, which is going to be great. Cycling Flyer. And a Cycling Flyer again. So those are all going to be good for putting in our graveyards and discarding cards to draw cards. Because again, that's going to interact with stuff like Drake Haven. And I'm sure other stuff. Finishers. Approach of the Second Sun. If we can play it twice, we win. Cryptic Serpent. 5 and 2 blue. 6/5. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant or sorcery in your graveyard. So you can get a 2 blue, 6/5. That'll be good. Protection, Gideon's Intervention. When it comes into play, choose a card name. Your opponent can't cast spells with the chosen name. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to you by permanents and permanents you control by sources with the chosen name. Sure. Glyph Keeper, 3 and 2 blue, 5/3 flying. When it becomes the target of a spell or ability for the first time, counter that spell or ability. Okay. Protection of the Heckma. The heck am I doing here? 4 and a white, enchantment. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you, prevent 1 of that damage. That's not bad. Like, if someone swings at you with, like, 14 2/2s, you're just going to take 7 now instead of 14. That's pretty good. Angel of Sanctions, 3 and 2 white, 3/4. Flying, when it enters the battlefield, you may exile a non-land permanent an opponent controls until it leaves, and it has Embalm. Blinding Mummy, 2-drop, it's just a bear. Whenever another zombie enters under your control, you may tap target artifact or creature. Ooh. That's a very good card. That's like a stat checking machine. Cancel, cast out, good removal, commit to memory, put target non-land spell or non-land permanent onto the top. Wait. Put target spell or non-land permanent into its owner's library second from the top. Okay. And then memory, aftermath, each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and draws 7 cards. Sure. Compulsory Rest, 1 and a white, just some good removal. Dusk and Dawn, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater, or return all creatures with power 2 or less. Edifice of Authority. 3 for an artifact, pay 1, tap it. Target creature can't attack this turn. Put a brick counter on Edifice of Authority. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, actually. 1 and tap it. Until your next turn, target creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Activate this ability only if there are 3 or more brick counters on Edifice of Authority. This is pretty awesome. I like this card a lot, actually. I'm going to save that card. It's a cool card. Essence Scatter, good counterspell. Failure to comply, return something to its owner's hand, or choose a card name until the end of turn. Opponents can't cast spells with that chosen name. Forsake the Worldly, 2 and a white, exile target enchantment or artifact. Illusionary Wrappings, just good removal. Impeccable Timing, good removal. Time to Reflect. This is all just removal, good removal. Untap Engines for... What are we untapping here? We're just untapping stuff. Well, I guess to keep ourselves open so we can't just be swung at after attacking, so that makes sense. And it's all out of one set, so you might just come up with themes like that because you need to. Jiru's Resolve. 1 white, instant, untap target creature. Prevent all damage that will be dealt this turn to it. No, that would be dealt this turn. No, to it. Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, wait, that's a fog? That's pretty good. Gideon Marshall Paragon. 4 and a white, 5 loyalty, pay 2. Untap all creatures you control. Those creatures get 1/1 until end of turn. That's pretty good. 0 until end of turn. Gideon becomes a 5/5. You know his whole shtick. -10 creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Tap all creatures your opponents control. It's a pretty good win con. Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Tap it to untap something. Pretty cool. Blink, we've got Vizier of Deferment. 2 and a white, 2/2 flash. When Vizier of Deferment enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature if it attacked or blocked this turn. Return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. That's really good. That's actually a really nice card for like a blink deck. It's like protection, but you also just get that blink again. And you get another body that you could blink again. I like that. Vizier of Remedies. 1 and a white, 2/1. If 1 or more -1/-1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many -1/-1 counters are put on it instead. Wait, if 1 or more -1/-1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many -1/-1 counters -1, oh my god, are put on it instead. So ridiculous. As far as card draw is concerned, we got Cortage of Knowledge, Hieroglyphic Illumination, Kefnet the Mindful, Open into Wonder, Oracle's Vault, Pull from Tomorrow's, Seeker of Insight, and Trial of Knowledge. And then we got a land base here. Oh, we got some more stuff. Ramp. As foretold, at the beginning of your upkeep, put a times counter on As foretold. Once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost of a spell with mana value equal to X or less, which is equal to the counters. That's pretty good. Embalmer's Tools. Activated abilities of creatures in your graveyard cost 1 less to activate. That is amazing in here. Tap an untapped zombie. Put target top card of target player's library in their graveyard. Kefnet's Monument. Blue spell. Creature spells cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast a creature spell, target creature an opponent controls doesn't untap during their next untap step. Oketra's Monument. 3 for a legendary artifact. White spells cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 white creature. That's going to be great in here. Pyramid of the Pantheon. 1 for an artifact, pay 2, tap it, add 1 mana of any color, put a brick counter on it. Then you can start tapping it for 3 mana of any one color once it has 3 or more brick counters, which that's actually pretty good. And then Aven Mind Sensor. Oh, that was in the commander for this set? That's funny. Wait, no, it's not. That's the commander. Aven Mind Sensor can't be in here, dude. Can't be in here, bro. Yeah, I'll name your commander. You can't cast it anymore, for sure. Oh no, Nick's going back to his pillow fort days. Did you know Scryfall has a deck builder? How did I not know about this until now? Does it really? Are you being for real right now? Mind Sensor was an Amonkhet invocation, so it counts. Oh, gotcha. How do we do it? That's weird. Okay. So, Aven Mind Sensor. When someone searches their deck, they can only search the top 3 instead. Or top 4. It's pretty good. I like this one. The Amonkhet one is very, very cool as well. This challenge is proving to show some pretty sweet decks, actually. Top right to your account, I think you can access it there. Oh, I don't even know if I have a Scryfall account. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah, I don't. That's funny. I need to make one and try that out. See if it's any good. Okay, we're going to move on to the third deck here, which is Ezrim Agency Chief. And this is a Murders at Karlov Manor all for one deck. So we're going to talk about this after I go grab my coffee. So I will be right back with a coffee. Hello. Oh, I got the, I don't know if you didn't notice this. We got the jerseys for my local card shop. And we got the, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that? Can you, I can't turn far enough to see it. Oh, you can. Boom. Nick's Lotus, dude. I'm pumped about these. These are sick. Our local game store was wondering if everybody wanted jerseys, and I was like, I will take a fucking jersey. Are you kidding me? I've never worn a jersey in my life. I would love to pretend to be into sport out in public. Like, nice jersey. What team is it? I'm like, oh, local Legon. They call me Papa. What the fuck? I want an LGS jersey. That's so sick. Ask your LGS, dude. They'll probably do it. It's a good idea. Sorry, I'm just going to chug this coffee real quick. Warm my throat up, and then talk a mile a minute. Actually, something's up with my color grading. Let me try to fix that. I think my... If I'm not mistaken... Yes. I think my reds were a little high. Yeah, that's more what my face is actually looking like right now. I know, it sucks. I was gonna say, I'm like, my face looks very orange. Now it looks a little blue, but that's kind of the lighting that's in here, so that makes sense. Is that NBA Legends John Day Brown Jr.? Yeah, it is. Turn around, it has local legends on the front. Just okay. Nah, LGS has moved different in South Africa. We do not have the money in Lamau. Ah, I got you. Is that where you're from? South Africa? That's wild. Ezreem, Agency Chief. 1, 2 white, 2 blue, 5/5 flying. When it enters the battlefield, investigate twice. You can pay 1 to sacrifice an artifact. Ezreem gains your choice of Vigilance, Lifelink, Hexproof until end of turn. Okay. Is there any tags here? I don't think so, but I'm gonna check. They started them kinda, but we'll just turn them off after I get this belch out of me. Okay. Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh. The first activated ability of an artifact you activate each turn costs 2 less to activate. Zevazi. What is that phrase? Azavi. Whatever. What that means is we get free clue sacrifices once a turn, so that's pretty cool. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. So this is going to be an artifact deck, I'm assuming. Target artifact becomes an artifact creature. That is a 4/4 until end of turn. And you get an emblem with whenever an artifact you control becomes tapped, draw a card, which you have to tap to investigate sacks. That's pretty good. Academy Manufacturer gives us 1 of each whenever we make a clue, food, or treasure. Agency Outfitter, 4 and 2 blue, 4/3 flying. When Agency Outfitter enters the battlefield, you may search your graveyard, hand, and or library for a card named Magnifying Glass or a card named Thinking Cap and put them onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle. Outquist Proft, 1 white, blue, 3/3. Vigilance, when he enters, investigate, sacrifice a clue. You draw X cards, gain X life for X a blue and 2 white. Or X a white and 2 blue. It's really good. Benny Brax, draw us a card whenever we make a clue token. Cold Case Cracker, flyer that makes us clue tokens. Conspiracy Unraveler, you may collect evidence 10 rather than pay the mana cost for spells you cast. To collect evidence 10, exile cards with total mana value 10 or greater from your graveyard. I mean, late game, that's probably going to be good, right? I can't see that being bad. What's good? I'm suffering at work. Hope y'all are having a good enough time for the both of us. LOL. You're some. I ain't got a clue, but Prof do. Bars. Absolute barrage coming out of the chat. Delny is insane. We had Mike from the Discord playing Arabella, the doll, last night, and Delny got scary quick. He only had like 3 creatures out, but everyone's like, oh, Delny makes it trigger twice, so we take 6? Yikes. I still want to figure out how to build a deck that animates clues to win through damage. Through damage is the difficult part. Because you could run the Nephalia Sleuth, Demir Girl, and then just go for the, like, combo where you animate them, but they die, but them dying causes you to get more of them, and then just, like, drain with, like, Blood Artist. But through damage is the difficult part, for sure. Detective of the Month, 2/0 blue for a 2/3 Ascend. As long as you have the city's blessings, detectives you control can't be blocked. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, make a 2/2 detective. Doorkeeper Thrall shuts off the enter the battlefield abilities of artifacts and creatures. Essence of Antiquity, 3 and 2 white for a 1/10. Damn. Disguise for 2 and a white. Damn. This seems really good in Doran. Holy shit. You just get a 3-drop 10/10. When it's turned face up, creatures you control gain hexproof until end of turn on tap them. Sure. That seems really good. She's way too strong. I played her for 1 game. Yeah. I literally did the same. I built her and then played her once and was like, meh. I'm just going to be doing that all the time, huh? Loki, Brambled Bard, or WTV? Or is that just non-token? If you make a clue deck with red in it, you can do Death Shaker Titan. I wonder if Belby might work for an all-for-one. Was she in War from the Spark? 4 from the Spark? Belby. Where was Belby from? Where'd my Scryfall thing go? Belby was from Commander Legends. Okay. Essence of Antiquity seems great. As Exit Specialist, 1 and a blue, 2/1. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Disguise for 1 and a blue. When it's turned face up, return another target creature to its owner's hand. Cool. Forensic Gadgeteer. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, investigate. That seems really good in here. Activated abilities of artifacts cost 1 less to activate. Yikes. It's a very good card in here. Forum Familiar. 1 white, 1/1 disguise for 1 and a white. When it's turned face up, return another target permanent you control to your hand. Put a 1/1 counter on Foreign Familiar. Again, you have a lot of stuff that gives you like clues on ETB. So stuff like that's actually pretty useful. Furtive Courier? What does furtive mean? Is that like a word or is that like a in-game thing? Furtive. Attempting to avoid notice. Cool. Furtive Courier. Oh, my throat got so dry right there. 2 and a blue, 3/2. Can't be blocked as long as you've sacrificed an artifact this turn. That seems really good. Whenever it attacks, draw a card, discard a card. Sure. Granite Witness, 3/2, disguise, flying, vigilance. When it's turned face up, tap or untap something. Living Conundrum, 4 and a blue, 2/5, hexproof. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, skip that draw instead. Sure. As long as there are no cards in your library, Living Conundrum has base power and toughness 10/10 and has flying and vigilance. That's hilarious. You just can't mill yourself when that's in play. That's kind of funny. Magnetic Snuffler. I like that art. 5 for a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, return target equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to Magnetic Snuffler. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on Magnetic Snuffler. That seems really, really good. Mistway Spy. 1 for a 1/1 flying disguise. Turn face up until end of turn. Whenever target creature you control does combat damage to a player, investigate. Neighborhood Guardian. 1 in the white. 2/2. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets 1/1. I was gonna say. Novice Inspector. 1 drop that investigates. Private Eye. Other detectives get 1/1, which I'm assuming your commander is, and like most of the humans in this deck are. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, target detective can't be blocked. Steam Core Scholar. 2 in a blue, 2/2, flying vigilance. When Steam Core Scholar enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an instant or sorcery card or a creature with flying. That's very specific, but sure. Surveillance Monitor. Dude, this goes into my video that didn't perform well, which sucks because I put so much work into that video. I made a video talking about Ravnica artwork and like secrets that were hidden in it. And I had a theory that the little circular glyph things were actually security cameras that were everywhere. And Surveillance Monitor literally proves that theory, dude. He's literally looking at those. I'm pretty sure I brought this up in the video. But the video, I love that video. If you haven't checked that out, watch that video. The Easter eggs in Ravnica art. I think it's fantastic. I really like that video a lot. Anyway, when it enters the battlefield, you may collect evidence 4. Whenever you collect evidence, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter with flying. Tangletrove Kelp actually seems like a good way to win with clues. Yorsome. 5 and 2 blue, 6/6 ward 2 at the beginning of each combat. Other clues you control become 6/6 plants in addition to their other types. And then you can pay 2 to sack the Tangle Grove to draw a card. Sure. That seems like a good way to win with damage with clues. Loki genuinely Ravnica would be goated for this challenge. That was one of the ones that I thought of was OG Ravnica. Oh, I loved that video. Actually, peak Nyx Lotus. Thank you, LJL. I like that video a lot. Put a lot of work into it. 10th District Hero. 1 and a white. It just upgrades. It becomes a 4/4 Vigilance. Then it becomes a 5/5. Other creatures you control have Indestructible. Ooh. Wait. Oh, you have to collect evidence. Okay, I was like, wait a second. So this is just a 7 mana 5/5 that gives all your other creatures Indestructible? That's pretty good, but no. Unyielding Gatekeeper. 1 and a white. 3/2. Disguise. 1 and a white. When Unyielding Gatekeeper is turned face up, exile another target non-land permanent. If you controlled it, return it to the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, its controller makes a 2/2 detective. That's a really good card. Just a blink spell or a little removal piece. Wojak Investigator. At the beginning of each upkeep, investigate once for each opponent who has more cards than you. Each upkeep. This is actually nuts because it doesn't draw you cards, so you're still going to have no cards. Like, if every opponent has more cards than you, you pass, you get 3 clues, pass again, 3 clues, pass again, 3 clues. Yeah, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to save that. That's a lot of card draw. Also, I think another amazing challenge would be all for one on the same plane. So if you chose Innistrad, then any card from Innistrad plane set, Innistrad plane would count. Set doesn't matter. Would be fair game. That would be really cool. That'd probably be another one we do. Wojak says your upkeep. Oh, damn. Why did I think that said each upkeep? Oh, because I'm totally dyslexic and I saw each in the second line. I literally read at the beginning and then right underneath beginning saw each. And my brain was like, got it. Don't need to read anymore. My brain does that all the time. It's not a good trait. Call a surprise witness. Return something with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard into play with a flying counter on it. Sure. Follow the bodies. Follow the bodies. 2 in a blue. Sorcery. Gravestorm. Gravestorm is so good. Investigate. Do tokens go to grave? Do tokens count for Gravestorm? I don't think so, right? So if you, like, sack a bunch of clues, you can't, like, replace the clues with follow the bodies? Because then it'd be called follow the clues. And it's called follow the bodies. So I would assume... I would have loved an all Innistrad deck. Someone did the Innistrad double feature, and I was like, that's a pretty cheeky way to get around this rule, but I respect the cheekiness. Tokens do die. They hit grave. Okay, cool. So you just get to replace all your investigations with that thing? So if you investigate like 6 times, you could... I mean, that's a lot of mana, but you could follow that up with a follow the bodies and then just replace them. That's pretty good. No witnesses. Board wipe that lets you investigate. Auspicious Arrival. 1 and a white. Instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 when you investigate. Behind the Mask. As an additional cost, you can collect evidence 6. Until end of turn, target artifact or creature becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness 4/3. If evidence was collected, it has base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. Okay. Deduce. Draw a card. Investigate. Deduce. Eliminate the impossible. 1 and a blue for an instant. Investigate. Creatures you control get -2 your opponent's control get -2/-0 until end of turn. If any of them are suspected, they're no longer suspected. Cool. Intrude on the Mind. I love this card. Magic the Gathering. Secrets of Strixhaven. Episode 3. Asunder just dropped, dude. What? It's just a factor fiction that lets you get a 0/0 Thopter afterwards, which I love. Make your move. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. No more lies. Counter target spell unless to pay 3 and exile it instead. Not on my watch. Exile target attacking creature. Officious Interrogation. Choose any number of target players. Investigate X times, where X is the total number of creatures those players control, and you have to pay a blue and a white to target additional players. Out Cold. Just tap something. Pretty decent removal. Reenact the crime. Brings back something from your graveyard that was put there this turn. Sudden Setback. Good removal. I haven't seen Sudden Setback in forever. Wait, that's not even the card I was thinking of. What's the old card? Stitch into Myth? Fate? Something like that. Stitch into Fate? What was it? It was like an old powerful removal card back when the rule wasn't around, where if you put a commander into the deck, they couldn't move it to command zone. That was a really cool card. Not really, because it sucked having your commander put on the top of your deck. But Unauthorized Exit. 1 and a blue. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Surveil 1. Sure. Artifacts, Arcane Signet, Candlestick. Equipped creature gets 1/1 whenever this creature attacks. Surveil 2, sack it to draw a card. Cryptex, tap it. I can't believe this isn't a clue. This isn't considered a clue. That'd be cool. Collect evidence 3, add 1 mana of any color. Put an unlock counter on Cryptex. Sacrifice Cryptex, surveil 3, then draw 3 cards. Activate only if it has 5 or more unlock counters on it. Sure. Magnifying Glass, card draw a mana ramp. Ransom Note. Cloak the top card, or go to target creature, or draw a card when you sack it. When it enters, surveil 1. Soul Ring. Thinking Cap, +1/+2. And Wrench, +1/+1, pay 3, tap it, tap target creature. Armed with Proof turns our investigations into equipments, which is great. Burden of Proof, 1 and a blue, enchantment with Flash. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 as long as it's a detective you control. Otherwise, it has base power and toughness 1/1. That's kind of a cool card. Dude, I saw the double feature deck. It was so cool. It was all grayscale cards, and it looked disgusting. I love it. Necromantic Selection steals. Can steal a commander, too. Ooh, that's gross. Oh, yeah. Gross. Gross. Case of the Filched Falcon. Huh? 1 blue. When it enters the battlefield, investigate. To solve, you control 3 or more artifacts. Once it's solved, you can pay 2 and a blue to sacrifice it. Put 4 1/1 counters on target artifact, and it becomes a 0/0 bird with flying. It's a lot of work. Case of the Pilfered Proof. 1 and a white. Whenever a detective enters the battlefield under your control, and whenever a detective you control is turned face up, put a 1/1 counter on it. To solve, you control 3 or more detectives. Once solved, if you would make tokens, those tokens plus a clue token are created instead. Sure. I still hate how moving a commander to be a command zone is 2 separate rules that work differently. Yeah, that is weird. Curious Inquiry. 1 for an enchantment. Aura. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage, investigate. It's going to be really good. Fey Flight, 1 and a blue, flash, enchant creature. When Fey Flight enters the battlefield, enchant creature gains hexproof until end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has flying. Lost in the Maze is such a good card. X and 2 blue, enchantment, flash. When it enters the battlefield, tap X target creatures, then put a stun counter on each of those creatures you don't control. Tapped creatures you control have hexproof. So it just protects your stuff and stuns other people's stuff. But it also just gives tapped creatures hexproof as an enchantment. So if you just play it for 2 blue, it just still does that. It's so good. Makeshift Binding. 2 and a white for an enchantment. Whenever Makeshift Binding enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until Makeshift Binding leaves the battlefield. You gain 2 life. Mechanized Production. 2 and 2 blue. Enchant creature. You just win the game when you have 8 or more of a thing, which is going to be, I think it's 8. Yeah, 8 or more of an artifact with the same name. Prof's Eidetic Memory. 1 and a blue. This is such a good card. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card each turn, put X/1/1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn minus 1. Teferis lets you draw double cards past your first one each turn. Seems good. Again, I like these decks, dude. It's funny how much synergy there is, because you would think off the rip, you'd be like, well, I'm going to lose access to so many powerful cards. This isn't going to be good. But then once you think about it, you're like, oh, I'm just making, like, focus on me. I'm just making, like, the best sealed deck I could make. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a ton of synergies and stuff in here. But yeah, Outreach, I really like your Ezreem deck. So we're going to put that here. And then we are going to go to the next one, which is SNC Trust Inc. by American Dream. Conducting the most nefarious of business plans here. I liked this one because they had it organized into like business sections. So like we've got business meetings, we've got employees, we've got market analysis, negotiating tools, the commute to work. They really made you feel like you were in Capenna with this deck. So I do like this one a lot. And I haven't even looked at the cards yet. So American Dream, let's take a look here. Conducting the most nefarious business plans imaginable with Falcasparo Pact Weaver. And that's how we're going to do it. 1, a green, a blue, and a white for a 3/3. Flying Trample. Falcasparo Pact Weaver enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast spells from the top of your library by removing a counter from a creature you control in addition to paying its other cost. Falco is so cool. He's a commander that I have actually considered switching Arna over into. Taking the black out of Arna and replacing it with green. Because you could still just do the same type of deal where you're going wide, you're putting counters on everything. But then I was like, I lose my Sinkhole Surveyor and I lose Bitter Blossom. So, couldn't do it. But Falcasparo. You may cast spells from the top of your library by removing a counter from a creature you controlled. So, incredibly good. But they're doing a full-on Capenna-themed deck. So we've got the entire thing here. How does this make sense? Let's do it in the order how you would go to work, how this would work. Okay, so the commute to work is going to be the first thing. How are we getting to work? Well, we got a getaway car. This is how we're getting out of work. This is how we're getting home. 3 for a 4/3 haste. Whenever getaway car attacks or blocks, return up to 1 target creature that crewed it this turn to its owner's hand. Crew 1. Mysterious Limousine. 3 and 2 white for a 4/4 that crews for 2. When Mysterious Limousine enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target creature until Mysterious Limousine leaves the battlefield. If a creature is put into exile this way, return each other card exiled Mysterious Limousine onto the battlefield under its owner's control. Very cool card, by the way. Unlicensed Hearse. I love Unlicensed Hearse. Such a good card, man. Like, Unlicensed Hearse is actually busted. 2 for a star. Exile 2 cards from a single graveyard. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards you exiled with it, and it has crew for 2. So after 2-3 turns of this thing being in play, it's going to be a 6/6 that you paid for 2 mana. That's also just, like, heavily shutting down graveyard decks. This is beautiful. Super early stream. Did you go over my deck already? No, I don't think so. I don't remember saying 3 Hoenn. No, I did not go over your deck already. I forgot what your deck was. We just played against it last night. Yes, we have not gone over your deck already. I'm excited to, though. Because I got to see 3 Hoenn's deck in action kind of in action. Me and him played our decks for this challenge, and then the other 2 people played, like, normal decks. So we got rolled. But I think my deck kind of stood its own. It was a fast enough deck that it stood its own for a while. Let's do this on the how you would get to work immediately starts with the drive home. Hey, dude, I had to. The drive home is a part of the drive there, dude. I had to. Okay, so we're going to work, and the work is the office. So our lands. We're not really going to go into these much. Oh, the office. Actually, there is some stuff to go into here. The office, Botanical Plaza, Broker's Hideout, Cabaret Courtyard are some good office spaces. Evolving Door. Going into the front of the office, dude. Going into the front of the office. The exotic pets that when you walk in the front in the lobby, you got the little fish tanks in the lobby. Obscura Storefront, another great little place to meet. Skybridge Towers, great office space. Sparrow's headquarters, great office space. Or do you want your office space to be on the move? Do you want your office space to be as productive as you are? Then we got it. Titan of Industry. Let's do this and oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, you were surprisingly able to keep up with the cow farm. What did you expect? It was a cow farm. Okay, and then these are also kind of office spaces as well. Okay, so we drove to work. And now we're gonna have to say hi to our employees once we get there, okay? We got all the other people that are working at this job, dude. We're gonna have to say hi to them. Because it's gotta happen. You gotta do it. Broker's Initiate. 1 white, 0/4. You can pay 4 in a hybrid Simic. It becomes a 5/5 until end of turn. Broker's Veteran. Oh, these are all like brokers. Chaldean Strongman, Celebrity Fencer. This is cool. These do actually feel like they're like parts of like a company here in Capenna. This is sweet. Broker's Veteran. 1 in a blue, 2/1. When it dies, put a shield counter on target creature you control. That works really well with our commander as well. When it enters the battlefield, put 2/1/1 counters on target creature. Works great with our commander. When it enters the battlefield, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Celebrity Fencer. Amazing with our commander. I would probably run that in a normal Falco deck. That's really, really good. Civic Gardener. When it attacks, untap target creature or land. Civil Servant. Green, white, 2/3. This guy's going to give you directions. He's like, 1 moment. I can point you to the east gate. Just give me a second. Whenever Civil Servant attacks, you may tap another untapped citizen you control. If you do, Civil Servant gets +1/+0 and lifelink until end of turn. My favorite office space? Swamp. Yeah, just sitting in a swamp. Like, yes. These papers. That reminds me of the Meaty Magic video where they're talking about, what's his name? The guy who made the game. I don't know how I can't remember his name right now. It's not Andrew Garfield, is it? Is that his name? They're talking about him like having a waterproof sheet of foils and like sitting next to a swamp or sitting next to a waterfall and being like, "Oh, lightning bolt! Yeah, lightning bolt. 1 red, deal 3 damage." I love that video so much. This is the 4th deck. We went through Shilgengar, we went through Temet, we did Ezrim, and then now we are on SNC Trust, and then up next. We've got the whatever Innistrad double feature deck. Okay. Where we at? Cleanup Crew. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, exile target card from a graveyard, or you gain 4 life when it enters. Sure. Dapper Shieldmate enters and puts a shield counter on it. And as long as it's your turn, Dapper Shieldmate gets +2/+0. It's a pretty good card. Darling of the Masses. Other citizens get +1/+0. 2/4. Whenever Darling of the Masses attacks, create a 1/1 green and white citizen token. Love that. Disciplined Duelist. Blue, white, green. 2/1. Double strike. When it enters the battlefield, or it enters with a shield counter on it. Ooh. I already know the answer to this, and it's absolutely not, but this didn't see standard play. Because way back in my day, like Shards of Alara era, oh, I would have ran the shit out of this card. Echo Inspector. 3 in a blue, 2/3 flying. When Echo Inspector enters the battlefield, it connives. Again, conniving will add a counter, so that'll interact with our commander. Great. There's so many good cards in Capenna. I love it. We need to go back here. Elspeth Resplendent. 3 and 2 white, 5 loyalty, +1. Choose up to 1 target creature. Put a 1/1 counter on that creature. Or a flying, first strike, lifelink, and vigilance counter. No, the 1/1's guaranteed, and then the other ones you choose from. That's cool. -3, look at the top 7. You may cheat something into play that costs 3 or less, and then -7, create 5 3/3 angels. I don't know how great that is, but sure. I mean, in this format, like if we're doing like all from the same set, that's probably a definite win con. But just as a planeswalker, I'm like, as an alt, Give me 5/5/5s or give me 5/4/4s. Don't give me 5/3/3s. Come on. Expendable Lackey. 1 blue, 1/1, 1 in a blue. Exile expendable Lackey from your graveyard. Create a 1/1 blue fish creature token with this creature can't be blocked. Activate only as a sorcery. What is the lore here? What is happening in this card that this ability makes sense? Altonio, no, I'm sorry. No one by that name works here. Rafine. Exile expendable Lackey from your graveyard. Create a 1. Did he get turned into a fish? Is that the joke? That's got to be the joke. He gets turned into a fish by somebody. Extraction Specialist. I hate this artwork because it looks like they just copy-pasted her face onto the little girl's face. And I'm always like, that looks strange. It almost looks like one of those arts where it's like the heads are swapped because of the way they're positioned. It's like, can you guess whose head's whose? 2 and a white, 3/2 lifelink. When Extraction Specialist enters the battlefield, return target creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control Extraction Specialist. I like this card. I like this card and I cannot lie. Freelance Muscle. When it attacks, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power or toughness among other creatures you control. Gala Greeters. Whenever another creature enters, you can choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Put a 1/1 counter on Gala. Create a tapped treasure, or you gain 2 life. Love Glittermonger. 4 for a 1/4. Tap it to make a treasure token. High Rise Sawjack. This is great artwork. That looks so good. 2 and a green. 2/3. Reach. When it blocks a creature with flying, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. This is really cool because it looks like he's like trimming the trees off the outside of the building, which is probably exactly what he's doing. Slicer, Grinder, recruiting trapped workers, killing gigantic rust flies. One tool does it all. That's fire. Hypnotic Grifter. 1 blue, 1/2, pay 3. Hypnotic Grifter connives. Ledger Shredder. Whenever a player casts their second spell, connive. Yeah. Mage's Attendant. When it enters, you get a 1/1 mage. You can sack to counter stuff. Rumor Gatherer lets you scry 1 whenever a creature enters, but if it's the second time this triggered, you draw a card. Which is really cool, because if it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you just go back to scrying. So it doesn't just like shut off, which I like that card a lot. Looks like creepy Duskmourn artwork. Yeah, it does. The extraction girl. It really does. Social Climber. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, gain 1. Spara's Adjudicators. 2 green, white, blue, 4/4. When it enters, target creature and opponent controls can't attack or block until your next turn. Pay 2 to exile it, and target land gains the ability to tap for all 3 of your colors. Not all 3, but, you know, any of them. Speakeasy Server. 4 and a white, 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life for each creature you control. Undercover Operative is just a clone that connives. Wingshield Agent enters with a shield counter on it, and when it attacks, up to 1 target creature gains flying until end of turn. Sure. So we've gone to work. We've arrived at the business, at the office. We've seen the employees. I think it's time to do a little bit of research before our business meeting. We're going to have to do a little bit of market analysis before our business meeting. We have to have some statistics to bring, all right? We don't want to be like last time. It looks good. Yeah, we don't want to look like that next time. We need to do a little bit of market analysis. Case the joint, as they say. 3 and a blue for an instant. Destroy 2. Draw 2 cards. Then look at the top card of each opponent's library. Okay. Cut your losses. Target player mills half their library, but you can casualty 2 to copy it, which doesn't deck somebody. It just mills half twice. So you'll mill like 1/3 of their library. Disdainful Stroke. Or, no, you'll mill 3/4 of their library. I think is what I meant to say there. Disdainful Stroke, good counterspell. Fight Rigging, Hideaway 5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Then if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, you may play the Hitaway card. Most Wanted, Flash, Enchant Creature. Enchant Creature gets +2/+1. When Enchant Creature dies, create 2 treasure tokens. This is cool. So case the joint, you're getting information. Cut your losses. You're like literally cutting your losses. Like if you're researching, you're like, hey, we can't do this. We can't make this partnership work. Disdainful Stroke, just, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to turn down that offer. The business deal, I've got to turn down the business deal. I've got to rig. This is like insider trading. Fight rigging is like insider trading, dude. This is sick. Prize Fight. Target creature fights another creature, and if you win, you create a treasure token. Wait, no, it just creates a treasure token. I wish it made a treasure token if you won. Oh, you know what would be cool? That would be a cool card. Target creature you control with the... This is going to be called... because it can't be Fight Rigging, because that's the name of the other card. Rigged Fight. Whatever, we'll come up with the name later. Think about this card, though. 1 and a green. Target creature you control with the most power fights another target creature with the most power another opponent controls. what is it? After they're done fighting, sacrifice each creature and create, if they die in the fight. Or how would you do this? I feel like there's a way to have a cool fight card where like both creatures die and you just make a bunch of treasure tokens and split them. Like rigged fight, 1 and a green. Choose the creature with the highest power on your side of the board, and a creature that an opponent controls with the highest power. Sacrifice both those creatures. Or no, return both those creatures to their owner's hands. There we go. Return both those creatures to their owner's hands. Each player creates a number of treasure tokens equal to that creature's power. Rigged fighting. Boom. I think that'd be sick. The fight's rigged, so you win either way. That's why you always get the treasures. Yeah, but this one's not called rigged fighting. This one's called prize fight. This is the prize fight, dude. It'd be cool if there's like a rigged fight where like, because in real life, like if you rig a fight, a lot of the times both parties just split the money. So it'd be cool if you could like split the money. If you get to split the money, that'd be sick. Anyway, prize fight. Rumor Gatherer we talked about. Wiretapping. This is a cool one. 4 and a blue, hideaway 5. Whenever you draw your first card each turn, draw a card. Then if you have 9 or more cards in hand, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Sure, we get to draw an extra card and we have 9. Play it for free. It's a little hard to do, because you have to have 7 in hand when your turn starts. Witness protection. Good removal. Welcome to New Capenna. Everything's rigged. Totally. Okay, then we're going to go to the business meeting. A little chat. 1 in a blue. Instant. Casualty 1. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library. An offer you can't refuse. Good removal. Bootlegger stash. We already know what this does. Brokers of City. At the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control and a loyalty counter on each planeswalker. Okay. That doesn't seem incredibly busted. It's really not, though. I mean, Feldar's Retreat gives you a counter every time you play a land. So I guess that's not really that busted. It reads like it's really busted, though. Broker's Charm, draw 2, destroy something, give a creature a buff. Depopulate, good board wipe. Gilded Pinions, when it enters the battlefield, create a treasure token, equip creature as flying, equip 2. Halo Fountain, pay 1 white, tap it, untap a tapped creature to make a 1/1, pay 2, tap it, untap 2 creatures you control to draw a card, pay 5, tap it, untap 15 tapped creatures, you win the game. Halo Scarab, 2 for a 2/1, pay 2, exile it, create a treasure token. Hold for ransom, good removal. Luxurious Liberation, X and a green, instant, target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, create a 1/1 green and white citizen token. I feel like that should be the other way around. Create a 1/1 white citizen creature token, then target creature gets +X/+X. That's just me, though. Rafine's Guidance. Just a good buff. And slip out the back some really good protection. Love that. You're going to need some good protection if you're going to slip out the back. I get. I always think that card is called Gilded Pigeons. Honestly, when you see a big pair of wings, and with how similar pinions looks to pigeons, I do not blame you. Okay, so we've driven to work. We got to the thing. We met the employees. We've done the market research. We've been to the business meeting. Okay? Now that we're at the business meeting, we're going to have to bust out some negotiation tools. All right? Because we're going to really need to make our mark at this meeting. Bouncers beat down. That's a good negotiation tool. If you beat the shit out of them, they normally give you what you want. That's from what I've learned. As being like this big guy. Just kidding. 2 and a green instant. Costs 2 less to cast if it targets a black permanent. That's racist. Bouncers beat down deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Less racist. that's pretty good. Buy your silence. 4 and a white sorcery. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a treasure token. Sure. Cement Shoes. I love this. Equip creature gets +3/+3 and has at the beginning of your end step tap this creature. Equip creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So you know what you should have done with Cement Shoes? Do all this, but also have like when Cement Shoes enters the battlefield, and if you control an island, exile target creature an opponent controls until Cement Shoes leaves. So you could do the whole like putting Cement Shoes on someone and like sleeping with the fishes. Because that's what they were trying to go for here, but like nothing makes you sack the creature or anything. He just looks like a badass in Cement Shoes. It should have been a pair of Cement Shoes sitting at the bottom of an ocean.
That would have been sick. Citizen's Crowbar. When it enters, make a citizen. Equipped creature has 1/1. You can sack it to destroy an artifact or an enchantment. Even the score draws you a bunch of cards. Make it disappear, counters the spell. Run out of town. Returns target non-land permanent to the top or bottom of its owner's library. And sleep with the fishes. Boom. He even has a sleep with the fishes card. Why not make the boots? Or whatever. When Sleep with the Fishes enters the battlefield, tap enchant creature and you create a 1/1 blue fish creature token. Is this like a legal thing? Are they not allowed to reference a saying that has to do with death and then have the card kill something? Is that like a legal thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I had a card called... I mean, like, this is a great example. A card called Sleep with the Fishes and then had it, like, kill target creature. Like, is that not a thing that they can have in their game? Because Sleep with the Fishes literally means, like, someone dying, so they can't put that on the card. Because it's weird to have Cement Shoes and Sleep with the Fishes just tap something. It's like, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that in real life, that's a pretty done deal. I don't think you're ever untapping from that. Okay, so we got the commune, we got the office, we got the negotiation tools, we got the market analysis, we've got the employees, a little business meeting action. Make sure there's nothing else here underneath these lands. No, ma'am. All right. Awesome deck. Really enjoyed this one. That felt like a good movie. You know what I mean? You know the opposite feeling? Like, you know when you're watching a really good movie and it goes by quick? Do you know when you're watching a good movie and it goes by slow? Have you ever experienced that? Where you're just, like, loving it and you're like, there's more? I felt like that when I was watching Marty McFly. I was like, this is cool. This feels like the end. Oh, okay, there's more. And then an hour later, I was like, oh my gosh. He hasn't even made it to Japan yet. What's going on? Like, it was like watching Forrest Gump. It's like a good movie where you're just like, wow, there's more to this. Cool. That's how I felt about this deck. Every time I'd finish a section, I'd be like, there's another cool-ass section. But we have Murder, like, so it can't be that. Oh, true. We literally have a card Murder that destroys something. It's so weird then. That just feels like a missed opportunity. Exactly. Yeah, that's weird. There's probably a ton of black cards that reference, like, death and destroy something. Maybe because it's blue? And they were just like, that's weird to have a removal spell in blue. But, like, even that, I feel like the boots could have been better designed. Okay. We're moving on to Clear Reason. I'm going to go grab another coffee real quick. And then we will start this one. Clear Reasons. We will survive this night. That's a really cool moon icon. Looks like cheese. Catilda Dawnheart Prime. Selesnya Humans. And the deck is built around Catilda Dawnheart Prime. Green-white, 1/1, protection from werewolves. Humans you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color of this creature's colors. Pay 4, a green and a white, tap it, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So yeah, we're going to be running humans, going wide with humans, buffing our humans, adding mana ramp to our humans so we can play more humans. Humans! I'll be right back. Grab my coffee. Hello. I need a sweatshirt, man. I don't know what's my deal today, but I'm cold. 1 second. I'm grabbing a sweatshirt. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Gotta bust out the Tenebster. Gotta bust out the Tenebster shirt, dude. You think my local game store is getting free publicity this entire stream, dude? You crazy? Are you nuts? Wizards of the Coast missed an opportunity? Shakinski. All right. Catilda, looks like we're organized too. Oh. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Okay. +1/+1 counters. Apprentice Sharpshooter is a 1/4 with training. Continuous Troop or Contortionist Troop. Oh, let me catch my breath. I always do this. I come up from upstairs. I also have like 2 coffees in me right now. So I'm like, let me chill and drink my 3rd coffee. I heard someone say coffee doesn't hydrate you. And I said, are you dumb? And they said, no. Are you stupid? I said, no. Are you fucking dumb? And they said, no. Are you fucking stupid? We got into a big fight. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, I don't even, it's one of those things that I feel like I don't even need to look it up. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why this fucking shirt is sitting so weird. Whatever. It's one of those things where I feel like I don't even need to look it up. It's like, do you really think this thing that is 97% water does not hydrate you? Like a coffee bean's just like sucking your soul out, like every ounce of water. Coffee does not hydrate you, Unk. I don't believe that. I just don't believe it. No, moderate coffee consumption does not dehydrate you. Hold on. So it doesn't do either. It doesn't dehydrate you, but it also doesn't hydrate you. Okay, does excess coffee consumption hydrate you? I'm just curious now. Wow, moderate coffee consumption contributes to daily fluid needs as hydrates, but excess consumption. Wait, moderate coffee consumption, around 2 to 5 cups, contributes to daily fluid needs. Hey now, contributes to daily fluid needs and hydrates. But excess consumption, generally 500 milligrams of caffeine or 5 cups, can lead to mild diuretic effects, which I'm guessing is dehydration. Yeah. So having too much caffeine. So there is a weird hydration middle ground. That's weird. So if you drink 2 to 4 cups, you are getting a little bit of hydration. But if you exceed that, the caffeine will dehydrate you. And if you go below that, it does nothing. That's weird. I'm right. The sweet spot. I'm about to get hydrated as shit off this 3rd cup. Yo, I don't know if you saw, but Wheel had submission, but didn't put it in the thread. It's still in the challenge chat. Oh, did I get that one? Was it the Squall deck? Because I do have Wheelmaster Squall in here. I've been living wrong. 2 to 5 is moderate. I normally am like good after 3 cups. Yeah, it's the Squall. Hell yeah. Okay. Gavany Township, a land that puts 1/1s on all your creatures. Griffwing Cavalry, a flyer with training. Hamlet Vanguard, when it enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 counters on each other non-token human you control. Oh, on it. Okay, I was like, holy shit. Hopeful Initiate, 1-drop, 1/2 training. You can remove counters to destroy artifacts or enchantments. Karm Bastion proliferates. Parish Blade trainee has training. Savior of Olenbach is a Olenbach. 1 and 2 white, 1/2 with training. When it trains, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. No. Creature from the battlefield or creature card from the graveyard. When it leaves the battlefield, put the stuff back onto the battlefield. You can do your own creature with this and reanimate something? Hey, as a reanimator player, I think that's sick. I never saw that can target your own stuff out of your own graveyard. Sipping my third cup as well, sir. Cheers. Cheers, sir. Oh crap, I think I made mine before the thread, so it might not be there. We did one of yours, LJL. I swear. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. I think I'm just thinking about when I said your name earlier in chat. Well, we'll get it. Well, don't worry now. Well, don't freak yourself out now, buddy. We'll get you on here. Don't you worry. If you're not on here, we'll get you on here. We got Guara. We got 3 Hoenn. We got Wheelmaster. We've got Quasi Crafter. We've got Kryptonite. Okay. We do not have you. But that's okay, dude. Because we're going to get you right now. Because we're going to get you right now. Where was it? Deck challenge. LJL, yours is the Strixhaven? Hey, cool. Good. Yep, we got you on here. Okay. Parish Blade Trainee has training. I'm just going to say, like, has training and stuff like that, because that's just what these are for. They're for 1/1 counters. Sigardian Paladin, 2 green, white, 4/4. As long as you put 1 or more 1/1 counters on a creature this turn, Sigardian Paladin has trample. I think these could have been cool if the art was still colored. Does anybody else disagree? I think these borders would have been actually pretty sick if the art just would have been in color still. Like, I like the, like, worn down wood on the sides. I think the white text looks really good on these. It's just the fact that there's no color in the art. Like, if the art had color, I think these actually would have been sick. As long as you put 1 or more 1/1 counters on a creature this turn, it has lifelink and trample. Pay 1, a green and a white. Target creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it gains lifelink and trample. It's actually not bad. 100%. Yeah, I was not a fan of the black and white. I like the idea, but not the execution. Damn, I never got around to making one for this. You're good, Lunar. Because you just might have time to make one still. Because I'm going to make a video out of this and then make a more public announcement to submit some decks. So hopefully we can get some more people on Discord. And I'm going to make like a video out of it to make some all for one decks. So you guys will probably get, not even probably, you guys will get another chance to make an all for one deck. So if you want to submit the one you already submitted, that is fine. And if you want to submit a different one, once we get the more public announcement, it's all good. It's all good. Timberland Guide. Also, if you guys are like, then why'd you put us on a time schedule, Nick? Because I want you guys making decks. Damn it. Drop and give me 10. Drop and give me 10 right now. Why did you have us have a time limit? Because I like you guys making decks. Okay? And I get to see cool cards from the decks you make. So what's all selfish means? Tauren's First of the Angels. I was going to ask if this was a part of this set. I couldn't remember or not. This card is amazing in this deck. 1 green, white, 2/2 training. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you create a 1/1 green and white human soldier creature with training. Holy shit. Sir, yes, sir. Unruly Mob. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 Unruly Mob. Sounds like E40. E40. Unruly Mob. Put a 1/1 counter on Irrelevant. Damn, bro, Nick really did get me to make a deck. I wouldn't have made one otherwise. See? That's why. We make people make decks around here. Awesome. I'll start brewing. Hell yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to start brewing a new one, go for it. You got time. Dawn Heart Wardens. You know what? I'm spitting a freestyle real quick. I'm amped up. That coffee's hitting. That third coffee's hitting. Oh. Different beat. Oh. Oh, yeah. Can I do a second one? Yeah. Feel free. If you want to submit a new one, if you already submitted one, that is completely fine. If you want to submit your old one, that's fine. If you want to make 3 or 4 of them, go for it. Go for it. I probably won't be doing reviews like this for all of them. Because that's going to be more of a I'm deciding on the ones that I like video. All for one. Every card from the same set. We the same match. We from the same set. We rap the same set. Who? I get some dang rest. They sleeping on the kid. Ooh. They sleeping on me. Sleeping on the Nick. Ooh. Nick's Lotuses with Lotuses and shit. Ooh. What's your favorite rap album, Nick? Oh my gosh. Favorite? Oy, oy, oy. What's my favorite rap album? Let me think. Because I don't want to answer this too quickly. I think I would have to go. Section 80. Kendrick Lamar. It's like it's almost a tie between Section 80 and Good Kid, Mad City. Like, and it's weird to have the same artist as your top two, but like those albums were insane because I was not into rap before that. So those were like the two albums that got me into rap. I got shown. Oh, Kendrick fan. Guara says Kendrick fan. Kendrick fan, Guara. Kendrick fan, Guara. Hold up. Hang on. Hold up. Do you like this little dude? You like this guy I picked up? I picked him up at a thrift shop. He doesn't have feet. But I was like, shit, man. I don't care. That thing's sick as hell. Okay. I mean, you could say I'm a Kendrick fan. With the serialized Damn album. I got number 43,813, so it's not that cool because there's a shit ton of them. But I got one. I'm going on a show and tell. Is it your channel? No. Here, I'll show you all my albums. We're going on an album show and tell. And there's nothing you can do about it. Album show and tell. Damn. Woo! Damn. Yeah, damn sick. We got Damn. We got Logic. Under Pressure. Still one of the coldest albums. We got Mac Miller, Blue Slide Park. First vinyl I ever got. First vinyl I ever had. And there it is. Good Kid, Mad City. You can't go wrong with that bad boy. Sorry, everybody in chat that wanted to see this deck. I'm showing you my vinyls really quick. MF Doom and Bishop Nehru. If you like boom bap lyrical stuff, this is a cold album. A super old shitty copy of Dark Side of the Moon I got at a garage sale. But hey. My Dark Twisted Fantasy, is that what this is called? Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It's got all the artwork in here too. It is so cold. This is one of my favorite vinyls I have. Opens up 3 ways, and it's got all the different artworks, so you can swap out this little square here with all the different things that guy did, which is sick. Oh my god, it just gets better. How about this one? J Dilla JD Donuts, dude. This is a banger. I forgot about this. When I was getting really into beat making, I picked this up. Oh, okay. Well, hey, LJL, when it comes to rap, I only ever listen to the old stuff. You talking like that? Are you talking like more underground new stuff like Earl Sweatshirt? You talking Earl Sweatshirt? Maybe you talking Earl Sweatshirt again. Sweatshirt again. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Old school. So you're talking like Mos Def? You talking Mos Def with that? You talking Mos Def? How about Drake? Take Care. Still one of my favorite albums of all time. Oh, do I have a second copy? The alternate copy of Good Kid, Mad City? Yeah, I do. And that's my collection. Right now. That's what it is as it stands. That didn't sound great. That's what it is right now. Nick might be the coolest person I know right now. Appreciate you. I'm just thinking of that one Key and Peele skit. Love Key and Peele, dude. About playing old school music. Which one is that? Is that the one where they're at the bar? And he's like, oh, in that Drake song? I love the one with the hats. Where the guy has the sticker on his hat and everyone's like, oh, you still got the sticker on it? And then the other guy's got his hat like wrapped in plastic still. And he's got it on and everyone's like, his hat's wrapped in plastic still. And then one of them's got a glass case around their hat with it still on. That's like one of my favorite ones. That is such a funny sketch. I really like the racist zombies one. I don't think that one's ever not going to make me laugh, like to the point of tears every time. When the zombie is getting close to their car and it reaches in and the guy's like leans back so the zombie doesn't touch him is like the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. I'll send the one I'm thinking about in the Discord. Play something old school. I gotta see that. That shit's funny. Why'd my music stop? Oh, I made the coldest beat. Hold on, I gotta play you guys this beat. I think it's the coldest beat. This one's pretty cold too. Beep, beep, boop, boop. There was one other one I made that was super hard, but what was it? Don't copyright strike me for that 2 seconds. Don't you fucking do it. I swear if it fucking does it. Well, where did I put that? Two seconds too long. Dude, they're weird about it, man. I played such a short... I mean, it wasn't that short. It was like fucking 5 seconds of like a League of Legends trailer in my video, and they copyright struck it quick. I had to get home and change that shit like super quick. Ooh. What are you doing to me? Ooh. Ooh. I put banger maybe. Banger maybe? How about banger yeah? How about banger? I barely even know her. I feel like you might actually like Trip Hop if you haven't listened to it before. Massive Attack, Portishead, Tricky, Sneaker Pimps. No, I have not. Drum and bass, I love. I love drum and bass. Jungle is like my shit right now. Love that. I love whatever. How do I play it without you guys, without it getting copyright struck is the issue. Where's my phone? Where the hell did my phone go? Where's my phone? Where's my super suit? Hold on a second. I'm gonna check the bathroom real quick. I think I might have left it in there. Man, I gotta play a section of this because I want you guys to know what I'm talking about because it's so fire. It's not in there. Okay. I'm just gonna pull it up on a tab where you can't see it and just tell you the type of music it says it is. It was the... Well, this isn't gonna... Welcome. Hi. Okay, Crid Hood Trap. Hood Trap Millencore is what I've been listening to. It's got like this bass that's like it cuts out every other second. And like woo 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 goes back in, but it's like super thumpy bass. Oh man, I've been loving it. Can I ping thing? Don't you do that. I'm gonna ping other videos in the chat. Can I do that? Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Well, if one of them didn't copyright struck me, 3 of them will. Give that a listen. That's what I've been listening to a lot when I game and when I edit. I'm gonna check those guys out though. Massive Attack. Massive Attack sounds familiar for some reason. Portishead, Tricky, Sneaker Pimp. Sneaker Pimp sounds a little familiar. I'm probably thinking Speaker Knockers. Okay. Anthem effects. Dawnheart Wardens, 1 green, white, 3/3 at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control 3 or more creatures with different power, creatures you control get +1/+0. Glorious Sunrise at the beginning of combat on your turn. Choose 1. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample. Target land gets the ability to tap for 3 green until end of turn. Draw a card if you control a creature with power 3 or greater, or you get 3 life. Yeah, the 1/1's pretty good. Intrepid Adversary. You can pay 1 and a white and then 1 and a white any additional times to make copies or to have it enter with Valor counters on it. And every creature you control gets 1/1 for each Valor counter on Intrepid Adversary. Jeez. Sigarda, Champion of Light. Is this an Anthem? Yeah, humans you control get 1/1. That's cool. 1 green, 2 white, 4/4 flying trample. Humans you control get 1/1. Whenever Sigarda attacks, if you control 3 or more creatures with different power, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a human from them, put that into your hand, and the rest on the bottom. Wedding Announcement. At the beginning of your end step, put an invitation counter on Wedding Announcement. If you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn, draw a card. Otherwise, make a 1/1 human token. Then, if it has 3 or more invitation counters on it, transform it into an anthem. We like that. Oh, we need music. Ah! Ah! There we go. Coven. So Coven is the having 3 or more different creature type or powers, which I think we've already talked about most of them. Ambitious Farmhand, if you have Coven, you can go ahead and transform it into this, which is a 3/3 lifelink. Augur of Autumn, you can look at the top card. You may play lands from the top of your library. As long as you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Contortionist, we already talked about. Dawnheart Mentor. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human. Coven for 5 and a green. Target creature you control gets +3/+3 and gains trample. Activate only if you control 3 or more creatures with different power. Pretty okay. I wish this one, you could just activate that ability even if you didn't have Coven. But if you had Coven, it would cost 3 less to activate. That'd be fire. Dawnheart Wardens we talked about. Ritual Guardian at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control 3 or more different powers, it gains lifelink until end of turn. And Sun Gold Sentinel. 1 and a white, 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Pay 1 and a white. Choose a color. Sun Gold Sentinel gains hexproof from that color until the end of your turn and can't be blocked by creatures of that color. Activate only if you control 3 or... That's a very random card. The first ability just has like nothing to do with the second ability. That's funny. Card draw. Ambitious Farmhand. Augur of Autumn. Briarbridge Tracker lets you investigate when it enters. Cloaked Cadet, whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on a human you control, draw a card. That is a 5-drop. That's pretty good, though. I mean, it's a 5-drop, but, like, the ability, that's actually solid. Did I stun lock the chat with my, all messages? With my music? Everyone's listening to that song now, like, holy shit. Glorious Sunrise, Investigative Journal. We can remove a suspect counter on it. Wait. When it enters, put a suspect counter on it equal to the number of creatures target player controls. Remove a suspect counter from it, pay 2, draw a card, pay 2, sacrifice it, draw a card. Okay. Laid to Rest, 3 and a green, enchantment. Whenever a human you control dies, draw a card. Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it dies, gain 2 life. Resistance Squad. 2 and a white. 3/2. When Resistance Squad enters the battlefield and you control a human, draw a card. Sure. Rise of Harmony. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield this turn, draw a card on an instant. That's actually really good. It doesn't even say non-token. That's really fucking good. Damn. Search Party Captain. When it enters, draw a card. Sigarda can let you dig for humans. Sigarda's Splendor. When it enters the battlefield, note your life total. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if your life total is greater than or equal to the last noted life total. Then note your life total. Whenever you cast a white spell, you gain 1 life. That's a cool card. Mono white, that's actually good card draw. You know what? Damn it, I'll say it. That's not too bad. Sunset Revelry is just an ultimate catch-up card. War Room lets you draw a card on a land. Wedding Announcement we already talked about. And Welcoming Vampire turns your small creatures into card draw, which we like. Finishers, we got Glorious Sunrise. Sigarda's Summons puts 1/1 counters on creatures you control. Sorry. Creatures you control with 1/1 counters on them become 4/4 base power and toughness, have flying, and they're angels. Damn. Unnatural Growth. At the beginning of combat, double the power and toughness of all your creatures. Sure. As far as interaction is concerned, we got Borrow Time, Cathar Commando, Clear Shot, Fateful Absence, Scaveny Trapper to tap stuff. Hopeful Initiate can remove its things to destroy stuff. Return to Nature. Savior can get rid of stuff in graveyard or in play until it leaves. Sawblade can destroy target creature or artifact an opponent controls. Talia makes non-creatures cost 1 more, and Villainous Stance can destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater or protect one of your creatures, which is, either or going to be good. We also got Life Gain down here. Ambitious Farmhand, Glorious Sunrise, Intrepid Adversary, Laid to Rest, Lunarch Veteran, Allenbach Escort, 1 white, 1/1. When Allenbach Escort, sacrifice Allenbach's Escort. Target creature gets 1/1 until end of turn and gains lifelink and indestructible. That's a kind of good Rattlesnake card. You're like, you could swing at me, but I'll sack this and block with my biggest thing and gain a bunch of life. Sigarda's Splendor, Sigardian Paladin, Sunset Revelry, and Traveling Minister. 1 white, 1/1. Target creature gets 1/0 until end of turn, gain 1 life. Sure. As far as protection is concerned, we've got Chaplain of Arms. 1 white, 1/1. First strike ward disturb. Transforms into a 2/1 first strike flying. Each creature you control have ward 1. Ooh. Allenbach Escort, we already talked about. Sarenth the Viper Fang gives other untapped creatures hexproof. And Valorous Stance, again, gives a creature indestructible. And ramp, we've got Cartographer's Survey, Castle Garenbrig, Glorious Sunrise, Nature's Embrace, Path to the Festivals. Sarenth, Storm the Festivals. What does Storm the Festivals do? Oh, wasn't this card ran in Standard? Maybe I'm thinking of a different card. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. That seems pretty good. That's actually really, really good. Jeez. 3 Tree City. Choose a creature type, tap it, pay 2, tap it, choose a color. Add an amount of mana that's equal to the number of creatures you control of the chosen type. That's insane in this deck. Oh wait, you can't run this in here. Unless it's in one of the one decks. But I don't think this can be in here. Because this came out after this. So yeah, 3 Tree City can't be in the deck. Neither can Castle Arden. Oh no, Castle Ardenvale. No, lands can be anywhere. I know the chat's going to say it. I know, LJL. You're going to have to deal with me. You guys still haven't learned that I'm actually dumb. Lands are fine. Don't panic. Lands can be from anywhere. I just completely forgot that when I saw that card. To be fair, that card reads so powerful, it doesn't even read as a land to me half the time. I'm just like, oh, that's a busted-ass card. No, you're good. That was my bad. Recursion, Bereaved Survivor, 3 and a blue or a white, 2/1. When another creature you control dies, transform it. Whenever Dauntless Avenger attacks, return target creature with power 2 or less from your graveyard into play tapped and attacking. Forgetting rules you make is low-key based. Dude, 100%. Dryad's Revival. We have a long leash over here on Nyx Lotus. We got a long leash. I hate that saying. We have no leash over here on Nyx Lotus. Whenever anybody says that, I don't like that. When I go somewhere and they're like, hey, we got a long leash here. I'm like, I don't want to be on any leash. What if that car runs a mile that way and I want to chase it? That's a long leash, but I'm still going to get freaking pulled back one of those runs, dude. I get the saying is like, hey, we give you a lot of free reign to do what you want around here. But, yeah. Maybe change the saying a lot, because I don't want that collar on me at all. Dryad's Revival. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Flashback for 4 in a green. I wish this was 1 in a green, just so I could have a better regrowth. Sweepers, by invitation only, and Vanquish the Horde. Token creators. Adeline. I forgot Adeline was in this set. 1 and 2 white, X4 Vigilance. Powers equal to the number of creatures you control. When it attacks for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking. I need this in my Arna deck immediately. Castle Ardenvale is a land that makes 1/1s. Cathar's Call. Enchant creature has Vigilance, and at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 white human. Cemetery Protector gives you 1/1 white humans when people play stuff that shares a color of a card you exiled from grave. Clarion Cathars enters with a 1/1. Dawnheart Mentors enters with a 1/1. Join the Dance makes 2 1/1s, and Torrens just turns all your creatures into more 1/1s. So, Adeline is a classic, a good one. Yeah, Adeline needs to go in my Arna deck. That's a very good card. And then we've got some untapped stuff. We got Malicious Railer. Rallier. There we go. I was going to say Railer. Barely even know her. 2 and a white, 3/3. Can't block alone. Or can't attack alone. When it attacks, untap target creature. Sarinth can pay 1, tap it, untap target creature or land. And Witch's Web, target creature gets +3/+3 and gains reach until end of turn. Untap it. Which, yeah, is going to be pretty good. I like this deck a lot. I think that using this set was really unique because the like super rare, the rare aesthetic, as the kids are saying, that this set had. So I do think this deck looks really, really cool. Cool. We are moving on. We've done 5 decks. We're exactly halfway through. No, we're not. After this one, we'll be halfway through. Okay, Guara. Are you in the chat? Forgetting rules makes you low-key based. Hey, you are in the chat. You are in the chat. Okay. So, I wonder if it would be possible to make a Sarinth Masako deck that uses Sarinth to give all your tapped creatures Death Touch, then Masako to block with those creatures. Ooh, that'd be interesting. What is Masako? What does he do? Ooh, that's a funny ass idea. This deck is buns. No, it's fine. You got a Bristly Bill in here, dude. This deck's not buns. You are already a strong deck. So you went with Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Guara, which I respect the hell out of. The commander choice was Willie Duke or Wiley Duke. I got a Wiley Duke, dude. Atten Hero. 1 a green and a white for a 4/2 vigilance. When Wiley Duke, Atten Hero, becomes tapped, you gain 1 life and draw a card. So you're going to try to tap Wiley other ways besides combat because Wiley's got vigilance. So that's interesting to get his effect. Creatures. Ankle Biter. Love that. 1 green, 1/1 Death Touch. That's my shit. OTJ, my goat. Aloe Alchemist. 1 and a green, trample. When Aloe Alchemist becomes plotted, target creature gets +2/+3/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Bristly Bill gives your lands 1/1 counters, or turns your lands into 1/1 counters. Dust Animus, 1 and a white, 2/3 flying. If you control 5 or more untapped lands, Dust Animus enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters and lifelink. Ooh. Frontier Seeker. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal a mount creature or a plains card from them and put them into your hand. Bristlebar Bandit is a mana ramp guy, so is Intrepid Stablemaster. Marion Herd Whisperer. As long as it's your turn, mounts vehicles you control have hexproof. Whenever a mount or vehicle you control attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. Raucous Entertainer. 1 and a green, 2/2. I haven't seen this card. Pay 1, tap it, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control that entered the battlefield this turn. What? I've never seen that card. That card's awesome. Hey, yo, tell your friend over there to keep his wily dukes to himself. LJL. You took the words out of my mouth. The question is, do I go get another coffee? I think the answer might be yes. I can just feel my throat getting dry. I'm getting one more. I'm getting one more. It said 2 to 4. It said 2 to 4, damn it. It didn't say 2 to 3, it said 2 to 4. I really need a BRB screen again. It's been a while since I had one of those. Once again, OTG proving a sleeper goat, no debate. Maybe zoom in on the page so you don't have to lean forward. I hate Architect, dude. It's just such a pain. Look at, and then the picture quality goes down when you zoom in. Ads on the page. Weird to organize stuff. Picture quality goes down when you zoom in. How many more reasons do I need to give you? Oh, how do I get those back to not looking like shit? Oh, I go really small again. This is goldfish. Ugh. Ugh. That's why I'm having such a difficult time. My fault, gang. I'll switch. Guara, I'm not trying to shame you or anything, my guy, but please go to Moxfield. For the betterment of you. For the betterment of you, dude, I want your life to be better. I hate this. It's so small. If I had a nickel every time I've said that. Have you considered tuna instead? Maybe salmon? Yeah, MTG Tuna's got a pretty good one. Heard. Okay. Seraphic Steed. Green, white, 2/2. First strike, lifelink. When Seraphic Steed attacks while saddled, create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. Stubborn Burrow Fiend. 1 and a green, 2/2. When Stubborn Burrow Fiend becomes saddled for the first time, mill 2 cards, then saddle whatever, gets +X/+X for X the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Doesn't get trample? Lame. Trained Ernx. 1 and a white. 3/1. When trained, Ernx attacks while saddled. It gains first strike. Voracious Varmint. 1 and a green. 2/2. Vigilance. Sack it. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's a good Rattlesnake card. Aven Interrupter. Exile a target spell. It becomes plotted when it comes into play. Cool. Sorry, I'm reading these kind of fast because I'm like, it is far away from me right now. 2 and a green, 3/3. When Beastbond Outcaster enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card, plot for 1 and a green. Claim Jumper, 2 and a white, 3/3. Just a catch-up card. Congregation Griff, 1 green, white, 1/4, flying, lifelink. When it attacks while saddled, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the amount of mounts you control. Sure. Drover Grizzly, 2 and a green. I drove her Grizzly. Absolutely feral. I drove that girl Grizzly. 4/2, when it attacks while saddled, creatures you control gain trample. I wish that's what they would have done with, never mind, with vehicles, because it doesn't make sense lore-wise, but I would play more vehicles if they could drive themselves, if they were self-driving vehicles, dude. Ornery Tumblewag. 2 and a green, 2/2. Combat at the beginning of it. Put a 1/1 on target creature. When Ornery Tumblewag attacks while saddled, double the number of 1/1s on target creature. Outcast Greenblade. 2 and a green, 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card or a desert card. Put that card in your hand and shuffle your library. That's right, baby. Gets 1/1 for each desert you control. You run deserts in here? Oh, yeah, you do. Oh, yeah, you do. 1 second. I'm eating this lozenge real quick. Lots of green-white decks. Falco's got green-white in it. Catilda is green-white. This one's green-white. There might be another deck that's green-white. Maybe. Yeehaw! Transformers are self-driving vehicles with living metal. That's a good point. We need more living metal stuff. Give all your vehicles living metal. There's an enchantment for you. My coffee is not. Man, this plane ain't big enough for the both of us. One of us gonna have to scram. One of us gonna have to get licking. It would actually be pretty cool to get more living metal stuff. Yeah, it really would be, honestly. It's a cool mechanic. They need to do that more. Introduce a new mechanic that fixes an old mechanic. Like introducing living metal to make like vehicles more fun. Like, I feel like you could do that with a bunch of different stuff. Outcast Trailblazer. 2 and a green. 4/2. When it enters the battlefield, add 1 mana of any color. If you control a creature with 4 or greater, when it enters, draw a card. Plot for 2 and a green. Oh. Excuse me. Rambling Possum. 2 and a green. 3/3. When it attacks while saddled, it gets 1/2 until end of turn. Then you may return any number of creatures that saddled it to their owner's hand. Oh. Kind of a cool, like, hyper budget option if you, like, don't want to spend $1 on Timir Sabertooth. That's kind of cool. I think the music pieced out again. It did piece out again. LJL, thank you. Every time I'm like, forgetting the music, dude. LJL's on it. Every time I'm forgetting the music, LJL's on it. Every time someone needs updates on some info, 3 Hoen's on it. Every time someone needs a funny voice and made to have a better day, Guara is right there with some good voices to give you. We got the whole thing right here. We got the whole layout. I woke up this morning, I got some gabagoo. I very much like the saddles in OTJ. Some of them have very great abilities. I haven't really given them the time of day, if I'm being honest, and I need to. Archmage of Tithes. It's like a Ghostly Prison for 1 on attacks and blocks. Brittled Bighorn. It's like the smallest art. He's just like in the middle of this empty space. Brittled Bighorn. Okay. 3 and a white, 3/4 vigilance. When it attacks while saddled, create a 1/1 sheep. Oh, I like there's a little shadow of a sheep in the background. How cool. The white one that can tutor out small creatures seems cool. Yeah, that guy does seem cool. What was his name? That one? No. What was the small creature one? I swore we read that already, didn't we? I guess not. The deck is barely functional, but he got the spirit. I don't know if it's in this deck. There's a white one that gives all your creatures 1/1 counters, and then you can gain life for each creature you put a counter on. Ooh. Oh, Shepherd of the Clouds? That's the low cost one you were talking about. Yeah, and then Bounding Felidar. Those are the 2 you guys are talking about. Shepherd of the Clouds and Bounding Felidar. Yeah, those are good. I mean, we'll get Giant Beaver out of the way. Everybody say your jokes. Everybody laugh. Come on. 3 and a green, 4/4 vigilance, saddle 3. If it attacks while saddled, put a 1/1 counter on target creature that saddled it. Guardian Sunmare is the one I was thinking of. Guardian Sunmare. Ah. This guy's cool. And Guara watches How I Met Your Mother. What? We got too many good people in this chat, dude. Too many good people in this community. Some good Kendrick Lamar loving, How I Met Your Mother watching dudes. Get your giant beaver out of the way, man. I can't see. Get that fucking thing out of my face, man. I can't see. I paid for the seats, man. I'm not gonna sit here staring at your giant beaver the whole time. I paid for the seats, man. I'm literally Barney Stinson. Fuck you mean? Yeah, I am him. I am Barney Stinson. You're an actor? You're a gay actor? What? You paid for the seats? I paid for the beaver. Take the seat. I got everything I need here. Ah, I bit my lip. Ah, that hurts. Oh shit! Hold on a second. Hold on a second. There's a little fire breaking out over here. I got fire breaking out in my room. I'm gonna have to put this thing out. Oh man, it's not giving. It's not giving. Hold on a second. This fire's not giving out. Holy shit. I had to suck the fire out. Whew. That's great. That works though. Sucking the fire out. People tell you to blow the fire out. That ain't gonna do nothing. Nick biting his lip for us. Kinky Unk. Kinky Unk, dude. That's what they call me on. That's my gamer tag. Still live? He's going crazy. That's right. I'm not going to be live for much longer, though. I'm probably going to knock out 3 Hoenns deck, and then we'll finish the rest of them off. Maybe later tonight, or tomorrow. If not later tonight, definitely tomorrow. I always tell them suck, not blow. Yeah, that's the thing. You really got to specify sometimes. Some of these giant beavers don't get it, dude. Selvala Eagle Trailblazer. 2 green white 4/5. Vigilance. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature with tap. Target creature gets 1/0 until end of turn. Tap Selvala. Choose a color. Add 1 mana of color for each different power among creatures you control. That's pretty good, actually. Railway Brawler. 3 and 2 green 5/5 reach trample. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put X 1/1 counters on it where X is its power. That's really fucking good. Holy. I might put that in, I might make that one of my reanimation targets in Taval. Just like having all my zombies enter as 4/4s, all my big bombs enter as double power. Yeah, that's really good. Shepherd of the Cloud lets you return small creatures from your graveyard back into play. Bounding Felidar puts a 1/1 counter on all your board. Cactarantula. 4 and 2 greens, 6/5, costs 1 less to control for each desert. No, if you control a desert, so it can be a 5-drop. Reach becomes whenever it becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Sure. Yeah, the Rhino is pretty dumb. Yeah, it's really good. Spinewood's Armadillo, 4 and 2 green, 7/7 reach, ward 3, pay 1 and a green, discard Spinewood Armadillo, search your library for a basic land card or a desert card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Sure. Why not? Final Showdown's amazing. Protect your stuff or wipe the board at instant speed. Getaway Gleamer, good removal. Requisition Raid, good removal, plus you can buff up your whole board. Rustling Rampage, good removal. Smuggler Surprise. Were you the one that played this against me? Or was this on a deck that I reviewed? One or the other. This card's incredible. I'm picking one of these up for my Taval deck, like, immediately. Oh, no, one of you guys did play this against me. Because I remember looking at it and being like, oh, I'm picking one of these up for Taval. What's up, PMAC? How we doing, my guy? Yeah, for Taval, this is incredible, dude. 1 green, instant, spree. If you pay 1 plus a 2, mill 4 cards, then you may put 2 creature cards or land cards from among them into your hand. If you pay the 4 plus green, you may put up to 2 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. And if you pay the +1, creatures you control with power 4 or greater gain hexproof and indestructible. Mills myself, gets lands out of my graveyard into play, or into my hand to trigger Taval. Can cheat fat creatures that get stuck in my hand with Taval into play. And protects my fat creatures. I don't know what else I need to say. Steer Clear. Good removal. Trash the town. Putting 1/1 counters on stuff. Or you can have something gain trample. Or until end of turn, target creature gains. When this creature deals combat damage, draw 2 cards. That's not bad. Bovine Intervention. Good removal. Dance of the Tumbleweed. Good mana ramp. Ariadne's Lullaby. Good removal. Gold Rush. Create a treasure token until end of turn. Up to 1 target creature gets +2/+2 for each treasure you control. That's actually sick. I want to save that one too. That's actually a really cool card. Throw from the saddle. 1 in a green. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Put a 1/1 counter on it instead if it's mounted. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. It's not bad. I haven't played against you yet, Nick. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was confusing you with Alex. I don't know why. We need to play. Guara, do you have tabletop sim? I'm trying to play with a bunch of people from the community. Like, most nights I reach out around, like, 7 or 8 Eastern Standard Time. So, like, I live in Indiana. In America. Now, I don't know about you, but I live in America. Where it's 8 o'clock when it's 8 o'clock. I can get it. Yeah, it's a Steam game, and dude, I've been playing it with the community a ton. So if anybody wants to get tabletop sim and run some games, that's like the best way to play with me right now. I'm actually gonna make a video about it because I've been having such a good time playing with it. Tumbleweed Rising, 1 in a green sorcery, create a 1/1 green elemental. Whoa! This is why I don't like this website, man. These websites keep jumping around whenever they feel like it. 1 in a green, create a XX elemental creature token where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Another round, exile any number of creatures, then return them into play. Repeat this process X times. Jeez. Damn, I need to save that one too. That's good. One last job. 2 in a white with Spree. +2, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. +1, return target mount or vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And +1, return target aura or equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's creature, it's like anything reanimation. Creature, this is sick. Bro, that's 8 a.m. around these parts. Yeah. That's how it goes. That's how... 8's just, like, the best time I've found to play with people. We got 3 Hoenns, like, always down to play. So, like, we pretty much always got 2 people playing. But I want to play with, like, a bunch of different people. So, if you guys want to pick up Tabletop Sim, I would love to play some. Like, literally just reach out most nights around, like, 7 or 8, and we'll probably be looking for a group anyway. Full steam ahead. 3 and 2 green sorcery. Until end of turn, each creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains trample. And this creature can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. That's really good. Wait, this is really good, actually. It's clearly not better than, like, the Endrace Forerunners and stuff of the world. But a 5-drop that gives 2/2 trample and everything can only be blocked by 1 thing. That's actually pretty good. I'm always down to play if I'm awake. Hell yeah. Betrayal at the Vault. 4 and 2 green, instant. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of 2 target creatures. 6 mana is a lot for that. That could be a 4 mana card. Lava Spur Boots is an absolute bop. 1/0 haste, ward 1. So good. Mobilize Homestead. 2 for a 3/3 with crew 2. Mobilize Homestead has haste as long as you control a mount. Whenever Mobilized Homestead attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it into the battlefield tapped. Luxurious Locomotive, 5 for a 6/5 with crew 1. When it attacks, create a treasure token for each creature that crewed it this turn. When it says crew, activate only once each turn. Can you crew as many creatures that one time as you want, though? Because that's actually not a bad card. In a token deck, that's actually kind of crazy. I'm always down to play if I wake. I think Wheel suggested to make a roll for it so you can ping everyone who has it. Oh, that's a really good idea. Yes, you can crew with multiple creatures. Yes, you can crew as many times as you want, but only 1 time out of the turn. Seems decent, Magda. Yeah, that's actually a lot of treasures. Mystic Tether, 2 and a white. You may play Mystic Tether as though it had flash if you pay 2 more to cast it. When it enters, just good removal. And then lands, baby! I don't think this deck is nearly as bad as you think it is. I think this deck would probably perform pretty okay. Like, especially in a bubble versus other decks that are made out of only 1 set. I think this one's like not even probably. I think this deck's fine. I feel like it will definitely do its thing. Let me move you over here. Boop. We found a lot of cool cards today, though. Tons of stuff I'm interested in running. Okay, we're going to do this one, and this is going to be the last one for today. We got 5 more to show off, including mine. We'll either do that later tonight, or we'll do that tomorrow. So just hit that bell icon underneath the video to get notified when I'm going live. It's either going to be tonight around like 6-ish, or it'll be tomorrow around the same time as we did today, like 8, 9. I mean, card advantage in the command zone, it'll always be good. Yeah, true. Like, you're crewing all this stuff with your commander and just drawing cards. That's really going to be good. All right, so we got 3 Hoenn, who chose Avatar, and he has Firelord Ozai as his commander, who is 3 and a black, 4/4. I'm going to read this thing up here. I'm just going to get this out of the way first. 3 and a black, 4/4. Whenever Firelord Ozai attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, add an amount of red equal to the sacrificed creature's power until end of turn. You don't lose mana as steps end. Pay 6, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. So it's going to be pretty good. Okay, so he says, this is my submission for Nyx Lotus. All will be one. All for one deck challenge. The deck building challenge was to build a deck using cards within one single set. The Rakdos deck's theme is aggro aristocrats. Receive attack trigger payoffs such as firebending, clue token creation, and sacrifice outlets to snuff out your opponent's flame. The deck includes many mana outlets to spend your firebending mana on. Card draw, interaction, combat tricks, token creation, theft effects, you name it. The rules allowed for this mana base to include cards from any set available. I stuck with strictly color fixing lands due to a lot of the utility lands being absolutely broken in the context of using firebending mana to activate their abilities. Very fair. Which can be found in the considering list. Broken things such as card advantage, ramp, life gain, fast mana, sack outlets, and more. Hope you enjoy this one set wonder. Hope you enjoy this one set wonder. There we go. Very cool. And he has it organized, dude. 3 Hoenn. What a class act. What a class act. I mean, card advantage. It's my turn. Damn, I'm not gonna be up that early. Which one? If I go live later tonight or if I go live tomorrow? What an inspiration, honestly. Honestly, what an absolute Chad. Okay, so we got card draw. We got Azula. 3 and a black, 4/3. Whenever Azula attacks, you lose 1 life and create a clue token. Oh, this is the one that you wanted to make. I see. That would have been cool. Beetlehead Merchants, 4 and a black, 5/4. When this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card and put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Seems really good. If you go live later tonight, I most likely won't be able to make it. We'll do it tomorrow then, my guy. I want you to be here, LJL, if that makes it easier. We can do it tomorrow. Hold on, let me mute my mic. I gotta get a good cough in here. Got to get a real good cough. Now I'm hot, dude. You get 4 cups of coffee in a guy and he starts sweating and coughing. I guess that's why they call it coffee. They don't call it clear throaty. They call it a coffee. Hey, hell yeah, I'll be here for that. A real good what now? A cup? What? What did I say? What did I say? Cunning Maneuver. 4 and a red. Instant. Target creature gets 3/1 until end of turn. Create a clue token. Energy Bending. 2 for an instant lesson. Lands you control gain all basic land types until end of turn. Draw a card. Fist of Flames. Draw a card. Until end of turn, target creature gets 1/0 until end of turn for each card you've drawn. Very good. Founding of Omashu. 2 and a red. Create a 1/1 ally. Create 2 1/1 allies. That's pretty good. Chapter 2, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Chapter 3, creatures you control get 1/0 until end of turn. June lets us sacrifice creatures to make clue tokens. Lion Vulture lets you put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card on the beginning of your end step if an opponent lost life this turn. Nyla Shiru Sleuth. 4 and a black, 4/5. When it enters, exile up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard. If you do, you lose X life and create X treasure tokens where X is its mana value. That's pretty good. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no clues, return target card exiled with Nylea to its owner's hand. Clue tokens. I kind of like this. Would this be good in Taval? Like, if you could animate this early and then just like... No, because then you'd have to exile one of your big things that you want to animate. Because I was thinking you could play this, exile like a Colossal Grave Reaver, make 7 clue tokens, and then that like pretty much solves your card draw issue. But then it's like, I wanted to reanimate that Colossal. That Colossal probably would have fixed my card draw issue too. Obsessive Pursuit. 1 and a black for an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a clue token. Whenever you attack, put X/1/1 counters on target attacking creature, where X is the number of permanents you've sacrificed this turn. If X is 3 or more, that creature gains lifelink. I'm going to save that as well. It's a very good card. Raven Eagle. 2 and a black, 2/3, flying. When this creature enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 card from a graveyard. If it's a creature card, create a clue token. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. Sure. It's a fun little card. Smeller Bee? Smeller Bee, dude. I barely even know her, dude. You think I'm gonna smell her bee? You're crazy, dog. 3 in a red. 3/3, first strike. Other creatures you control have haste. When Smeller Bee attacks, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw cards equal to the number of attacking creatures. I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Smeller Bee. That's crazy. Sold Out. 3 in a black, instant, exile target creature. If it was dealt damage, you create a clue token. The Legend of Roku. 2 and 2 red for a saga. Chapter 1, exile the top 3 cards of my library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those. Pay 2, add 1 mana of any color. And pay 3, exile this saga and return it as Avatar Roku. 4/4, Firebending 4. Pay 8, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with Firebending 4. With Firebending 4? Ew. That's really good. If you crack all the clues freaky deaky style, you get exiled card back. That's what I was thinking, but now I'm like, I could just get the card back though. Right off the busy. Zuko Conflicted. Okay. Black and a red, 2/3. At the beginning of your first main phase, choose one that hasn't been chosen, and you lose 2 life. Draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on Zuko, add a red, exile Zuko, then return him to the battlefield under your control. Oh, so that's it, so you can reset him. Do you remember way back in the day when I was asking you guys for card suggestions for cards that explained an unspoken rule in Magic? And I couldn't explain to you what kind of card that was. This is what I mean. A new player will play this card, and they'll go down his list, and they'll be like, why are one of his things to exile? He doesn't even have an ETB. And that'll immediately get the wheels turning, and they'll be like, oh, because it's the choose one that you haven't. So if I exile and it comes back, it's a new instance of the... Okay, you know what I mean? Teaching unspoken rules like that. This is perfect. Zuko Conflicted. That's like exactly the type of unspoken rule I'm talking about. I still think about those suggestions. Zuko Exiled Prince. 3 in a red, 4/3, Firebending 3. That seems really good. Pay 3, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. That seems very good for an uncommon. This set was so packed with like heat. So these are all your Firebending cards. Azula Firebends 2, Cruel Administrator. When this creature enters, it enters with a 1/1 counter on it. If you attack this turn, whenever this creature attacks, you create a 2/2 red soldier with Firebending 1. Firebending Ascension. When this creature enters, create a 2/2 red soldier with Firebending 1. Whenever a creature you control attacking causes a triggered ability to trigger, put a quest counter on this enchantment. Then if there are 4 or more, you copy that trigger. Firebending Student. Starting to lose my voice. I knew this is the last deck. I knew it. I'll have to do a funny voice to get through this. Firebending Student. 1 in a red for a 1/2 prowess. Firebending X, where X is this creature's power. I'm just going to read the Firebending when we go through these. Create 2/2 red soldiers with Firebending 1. This has Firebending 2 as long as there's a lesson in your graveyard. When this enters, make a 2/2 with Firebending 1. When you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, make a 2/2 with Firebending 1. That's really, really good. Damn. Fire Nation's Palace gives a creature Firebending 4, which is nuts. Fire Nation Turret. 2 in a red at the beginning of combat on your turn. Turn 1 Soul Stare goes so hard and casual. Yeah, it does. Sorry, someone left a comment on my video. I agree. Put a charge counter on this artifact. Remove 50 charge counters. It does 50 damage to any target. Ew. Oh, and then at the beginning of your combat, you get Firebending 2 and 2. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's such a good card. Loyal Fire Sage. 2 in a red, 3/3 Firebending 1. Create a 1/1 ally. Okay, I feel like that should make 2/2 Firebendings, but... Ozai the Phoenix King. 2/2 black, 2 red, 7/7 trample, Firebending 4 haste. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead. Has flying and indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana. That's cool. Sozin's Comet. 3 and 2 red sorcery. Each creature you control gains firebending 5 until end of turn. What? Holy shit. Yeah, if you got Sozin's Comet along with Avatar Roku, I mean, like, you just win. That's crazy. You should do a whole stream in that voice and never explain it. Now, welcome your pretty little heart to the stream. Today we're going to be looking at some decks. And it has Foretell? Does it really? For 2 and a red? Holy shit. That's crazy. That's a crazy card. If you have the mana sinks for that, that is insane. Legend of Roku, The Rise of Sozin. 4 and 2 black. Destroy all creatures. Chapter 2, choose a card name, search target opponent's library, graveyard, hand, library, whatever, for 4 cards with the same name and exile them. Exile this card and return it back into play as Firelord Sozin. 5/5, Menace, Firebending 3. When Firelord Sozin deals combat damage to a player, you may pay X. When you do, put any number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from your player's graveyard into the battlefield under your control. Oh. I think this goes into Taval as a board wipe. Genuinely. I already run a couple board wipes in there. I think I could just take out one of those and put this in there instead as a board wipe that gets rid of problem cards that then comes back and lets me start just like reanimating huge amounts of shit from the graveyard. No, wait. No, never mind. I was going to say I can only use firebending mana, but I can use untapped mana too. So I get 3 bonus mana plus any untapped mana to just bring back any number of target creatures. Damn. That's really good. Zhao, Ruthless Admiral. 2 and 2 hybrid Rakdos. 3/4 firebending 2. When you sacrifice another permanent, creature you control get 1/0. That's such a busted card. Zuko, Exiled Prince. As far as interactions concerned, we got Blasphemous Act, Bolt Bend, Deadly Rollick, Deflecting Swat. That's so crazy you have these in here. That is like crazy value. Desperate Plea is so cool. Desperate Plea is such a cool card. 1 and a black. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sack a creature. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield if its power is less than or equal to the sacked creature, or destroy target creature. That's just a cool card. I like that card. Firebending Lesson. 1 red, instant, kicker for 4. Does 2 damage, but it does 5 if it was kicked. Heartless Act, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Strike. Overwhelming Victory. Deals 5 damage to target creature. Each creature you control gains trample and gets plus X plus O until end of turn, where X the amount of excess damage dealt this way. That's kind of a cool card. I don't know what deck that would go in specifically, but that is really cool. Redirect Lightning, fantastic. Sold Out, we already talked about it. Good removal though. And the Rise of Sozin, already talked about it. These are all the things you're going to be sinking the firebending mana into. So, you can use the clue tokens from her. You can pay the additional 3 with him, I guess. Or cost 3 less. So I'm not sure how that's a mana outlet. You can sacrifice the clue token with that thing. Land you control become all basic land types. You could just play this at instant speed to draw a card. If you need to play this during instant speed, you can sink your mana into it. Okay, sorry. Fated Firepower, dump all your mana into this and flash it out, and then all your stuff does X plus X damage for the rest of the game. Sure. Firebending Lesson, Fire Nation Archers, pay 5. This creature does 2 damage to each opponent, and you create a 2/2 red soldier creature token. It doesn't make the ones with firebending? What the fuck's your problem? That's weird. It's a really good sync, though. Fire Nation attacks, you get 2 of those things, but it's also got flashback for 8 and a red, so you can dump your mana into flashing that back. You can dump your mana into this creature getting +1/+0 until end of turn. You could dump your mana into putting a charge counter on this artifact. You could dump your mana into a +X+0. Use any of your removal pieces with your mana. Give a +2/+0 to your whole board. Yeah, it seems really good. Create a 1/1 ally whenever you want. Flash this into play. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. Yeah, flash this into play with your mana and then flash something else into play with more mana. Jeez. Again, crack the clue tokens. Dump your mana into this giant thing and buff your board. Crack the clue tokens. Buff up your board, remove stuff, crack clue tokens, use Secret Tunnels ability. Remove ice counters from Dark Depths. You may pay 1 when you do. Target creature can't block this turn. Filter it into her. Exile the top card of your library as much as you want. There's so many good things to use your firebending mana on. Zuko's Conviction. 1 black, kicker for 4. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If it was kicked, return that card to the battlefield instead tapped. At instant speed, dude. Hell yeah. Ping effects. We got Bastion of Remembrance. Bloodlender's Rise or Bloodchief's Ascension. This thing's awesome. 1 black, enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent... I got to do the voice for this one. My voice is giving out. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost 2 or more life this turn, you may put a quest counter on this enchantment. Whenever a card an opponent controls is put into the graveyard from anywhere, this enchantment has 3 or more quest counters on it. You may have that player lose 2 and you gain 2. It's absolutely disgusting. Fire Shot can ping everyone for 2. Long Shot can ping everybody for 2 when you play a non-creature spell. And Raven Eagle pings everybody for 1 whenever you draw your second card. As far as token creation is concerned, we got Bastion of Remembrance, Cruel Administrator, Firebender's Ascension, Fire Nation Archers, Fire Nation Attack, Fire Nation's Occupation, Fire Nation Trebuchet. I haven't seen this one. 2 and a black, 0/4, Defender Reach. When you attack, create a 2/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with flying named Ballistic Boulder. That's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice that token at the next end step. That's not bad. You just get a bonus 2/1 that's tapped and attacking that's also an artifact and also skull clampable whenever you attack. And it's just a 0/4 Defender Reach. That's a good Rattlesnake card. I like that. Also, the Chapter 2 ability isn't completely useless in Commander. At worst, it's just exile a card from a graveyard. Referring to which card? Sorry. Fire Nation Trebuchet, founding of Amashu, Loyal Fire Sage. I was gonna ask you if you had the Phoenix Fleet airships. These things are disgusting. 2 and 2 black, 4/4 flying. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrificed a permanent this turn, create a copy of this vehicle. As long as you control 8 or more permanents named Phoenix Fleet airship, this vehicle is an artifact creature. I would run that in Taval if it was a creature that I could reanimate, but I can't. But it's still such a good card. Realm of Ko makes you 1/1 tokens. The Legend of Roku. How is this making you tokens? Oh, yeah. You can dump all your firebending mana into 8/8 dragons. Yeah. Zuko Avatar Hunter. There's so many Zukos. 3 and 2 red, 4/5 reach. Whenever you cast a red spell, create a 2/2 red soldier creature token. Come on, but they don't have firebending? Come on. Untagged artifacts. Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, Swiftfoot Boots, Mechanical Glider. Equipped creature has flying and enters attached. Cool. That's good art, too. I love that episode. Fervor. 2 and a red. Enchantment. Creatures you control have haste. What a good piece of artwork. Dang. And then the untagged lands and untagged sorceries. Cruel Tutor. We saw that one last night. Search your library for a card, then shuffle it and put it on top. You lose 2 life. Gamble. Search your library for a card, put the card in your hand, then discard a card at random. And Storm of Memories. 2 and 3 red. Storm. Exile an instant or sorcery card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard at random. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into the graveyard, exile. But you can also storm off with this thing and cast a bunch of stuff for free. Which, again, is that an instant? It's a sorcery, so that's a little awkward with the deck. I have never seen this card, actually. Not every soldier in Avatar has bending, like how Sokka can't bend. No, that makes sense, like, lore-wise, but just some of these ones, I'm like, come on, you literally have, like, fire-bending guys behind you. You got firebenders in the art, buddy. See? Those 2 guys. Those are firebenders with the little crooked horns on their thing. Boom! Crooked horns. I can still fight. No, I'm good. I can still fucking fight. Just one arm just like swinging in the air while you move around. No, I'm good. I can fight this shit. All right, another banger, dude. There are so many cool decks that came out of this. I'm probably going to make a follow-up video about cards that I found from these decks. Because, as you can see, there's a ton of stuff that I'm like, ooh, that's actually really good. Okay, so tomorrow morning around the same time, we started this around like 9:30 today. Maybe even earlier. I can't remember when we started this. How long have we been going? Oh, almost 3 hours. So yeah, we started this around 9. So tomorrow, 9 a.m. around there, we're gonna go live again. We're gonna start with Wheelmaster's Squall deck. So get ready for that. I hope you guys are excited for that. This was super fun. I had a blast. Waking up a little bit earlier, just going through some cards with you guys. I wish my voice hung on a little longer than it does lately, but it's all right. Not gonna lie, mine is pretty boring, but that's okay. No, I think everybody thinks theirs is boring because it inherently makes you feel like you're not having as cool of a card pool as you normally would. But like, I think we've come to find out that even the ones people thought were boring were actually really cool. And like I was saying, we didn't go through one deck where I didn't find 3 or 4 cards where I'm like, I've never seen that before, and that's incredible. So like, I think that's super useful either way. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get off, but I do want to get off. You know what I mean? I don't want to get off, but I do want to get off. Oh, I got nothing else to do. My voice is giving out. And I want to clear my voice let me clear my throat every 2 seconds. Fun challenge. I enjoyed building the deck for it. Hell yeah. Also, if any of you guys weren't in the chat when I was saying this, I am going to make an official video announcing this deck challenge. So there's going to be another wave of this challenge. So if you guys want to make a second deck, or if you guys weren't here for the first challenge and you want to make a deck, don't worry. Just check out the channel. There's going to be an upload next Sunday, not this coming one, next Sunday, explaining it. And we'll do an actual like full-on run where the whole community can make decks. And then I'll go through them, and then I'll make a follow-up video where I pick some of my favorites. But this was fun as hell. Got us to see a bunch of cards. Again, if you guys already submitted one and you want to make a second one for like the follow-up one, completely fine. I actually already made 2 for this challenge because one of them did not work, so I had to make the second one. I might show you guys the one that didn't work at one point. But yeah, these videos coming out this Sunday and Monday, I'm really excited for. So I think you guys should be excited too. We've got 2 full-on deck tech videos coming out. One of them is a Lotus Precon video, and the other one is just a deck that I've been enjoying so much and had so much fun building that I like it just warranted its own video. So that really doesn't happen very often. So those 2 videos, watch out for those, Sunday and Monday. So those should be fun. Thanks again for submitting your decks, everybody. Thanks for chilling with me for 3 hours. I appreciate that. Big thanks to Souls for becoming a member. That was super nice of you. Appreciate that, my guy. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow around, what is going on my screen right now? Oh, I was earlier in the stream when I was moving my chat thing. I was like, why is my chat moving? Yeah, anyway. Enough with the northeastern goodbyes where we're halfway out the door, and I'm like, anyway, see you, by the way. Souls is Mike, by the way. Oh, thank you, Mike. I didn't realize that was him. Appreciate you, my guy. We played Magic last night. He almost beat our ass with the Arabella. Because that got scary as hell with the girl that doubles all your small weenie stuff's triggered abilities. Oh, Delny. Got Delny out. Woo! That was gross. So if you want an upgrade for the Arabella deck, pick up Delny. It's disgusting. Anyway. Peace out, boys.